So good evening all. Welcome to the conclave on Gujarat Electronics Policy and Opportunity in ESDM Electronics System Design and Manufacturing for the South Gujarat. I am Puneet Gajara, co-chairman of SGCC IT committee, and I am honored to be MOC for today's event. So specially આજે જે ઇવેન્ટ થવા જઈ રહી છે એ બહુ જ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે ઇન્ડિયાના ગ્રોથ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં જે અત્યારે ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં જે ચેન્જીસ થઈ રહ્યા છે અને જે રિસેન્ટલી ન્યૂઝમાં પણ છે કે ગુજરાત સરકાર પણ ઘણા એવા આમાં પગલાં લઈ રહી છે. સો પર્ટિક્યુલરલી કે આજે ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક સેક્ટરમાં જે ઇસ્ટાબ્લિશ છે જે લીડિંગ ડેસ્ટિનેશન બીજા ઘણા સ્ટેટ છે તો એ સ્ટેટ આપણા સાઉથ ગુજરાતમાં કે ગુજરાતમાં કેમ ઇસ્ટાબ્લિશ થઈ શકે એના માટે આજે એક અવેરનેસ કોન્ક્લેવનું આયોજન કરવામાં આવ્યું છે એસજીસીસીઆઈ અને બીજા સંસ્થાનો સાથે. સો આમાં આપણે ઘણી બધી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ આજે મળશે કે આપણા જે સ્પીકર્સ છે લાઇનઅપ દે આર રિયલી એક્સપર્ટીઝ ઇન ધેટ ડોમેઇન અને આજે એમની સ્પીચમાંથી કંઈક એવી ઇન્ફોર્મેશન એ જ આપણે લઈ જશું કે આજના જે ટોપિક્સ છે જેમ કે ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી ઇન ESDM, પછી સેમિકન્ડક્ટર અને આઈટી પોલિસીનો રોડમેપ છે, અવર્યુ છે ઓલરેડી કે જે ઇન્ડિયન ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ એન્ડ સેમિકન્ડક્ટર એસોસિએશન છે કે એ કઈ રીતના એનું છે અને સેમિકન્ડક્ટરને કનેક્ટ કરાવશે અને કેપેસિટી બિલ્ડિંગ પર પણ આજે એના પર વાત થશે. લેટર ઓન એક પેનલ ડિસ્કશન છે જેમાં આજના સ્પીકર ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ ઇન ચેલેન્જીસ ઇન ESDM સેક્ટર પર વાત કરશે એન્ડ ધેન વી હેવ ડિનર સો આફ્ટર ધીસ ઇવેન્ટ. સો ધીસ ઇઝ ઓલ ધ કોન્ક્લેવ શેડ્યુલ એન્ડ પ્લીઝ બી વિથ અસ એટ લાસ્ટ મોમેન્ટ. અને આજે કંઈક એવું લઈ જશું કે સાઉથ ગુજરાતમાં આજનો જે સેમિનાર થયો છે એને લઈને કંઈક નવા સવાલો આવે અને બધા સ્પીકરો નેટવર્કિંગ સેશન દરમિયાન એના જવાબો આપે ને એનાથી કંઈક એવો ઉદય થાય જે ચેમ્બરના માધ્યમથી ઓલવેઝ થઈ રહ્યું હોય છે. સો યસ, અને પ્રોગ્રામને આગળ વધારતા સો આજનું હું વેલકમ એડ્રેસ માટે વાઇસ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ ચેમ્બર એસજીસીસીઆઈ મિસ્ટર રમેશ વગાસિયાને ઇન્વાઇટ કરું છું. આપણા પ્રેસિડેન્ટ હિમાંશુ બોડાવાલાને કંઈક ઇમરજન્સી આવવાથી એ લાસ્ટ મોમેન્ટ પર એમનું શેડ્યુલ ચેન્જ થયું છે. સો આઈ વેલકમ મિસ્ટર રમેશ વગાસિયા ફોર વેલકમ એડ્રેસ.
Thank you very much, Mr. Puneet. It's an immense matter of a great pleasure for me to welcome you at this auspicious occasion of knowledge. And before I start, I would like to request Kolkata wala, don't be at the last, be at the first, please. Be on the stage, please. Because Bhavesh is not there, please remove the plate, Rajesh. Gujarat State Electronics Mission Managing Director ITES Honorable Videh Khareji, India Electronics and Semiconductor Association Gujarat Chapter Chairperson તથા E-Info Chips co-founder Honorable Sudhirભાઈ નાયક સાહેબ, D-Matrix Country Head and Vice President Dr. પ્રદીપ ઠાકર સાહેબ, SVNET Director અનુપમ શુક્લાજી તથા સિનિયર ફેકલ્ટી ડૉક્ટર આનંદ દરજી સાહેબ, સ્કેટ સુરતના ડીન અને એકેડેમિક્સ ડૉક્ટર નીતિનભાઈ પરેલ, ચેમ્બરના મારા સાથી મિત્રો ઓનરેબલ સેક્રેટરી આદરણીય શ્રી ભાવેશભાઈ ટેલર, આ ચેમ્બરની એક્ટિવિટી જેના માધ્યમથી થઈ રહી છે, જેમના આયોજનથી થઈ રહી છે તેવા ચેમ્બરની આઈટી કમિટીના ગ્રુપ ચેરમેન બશીરભાઈ મંસૂરી, એડવાઇઝર શ્રી હરીશભાઈ કલકત્તાવાલા, ચેરમેન ઓનરેબલ ગણપતભાઈ ધામેલિયા, કો-ચેરમેન અને સમગ્ર કાર્યક્રમના સંચાલક એવા ખૂબ મહેનતુ અને ચેમ્બરની પ્રવૃત્તિમાં હર હંમેશ ઉત્સાહથી જેવો હાથમાં લઈને ઇનિશિયેટિવ લઈને કામ કરી રહ્યા છે એવા પુનિતભાઈ ગજેરા, अन्य को-चेयरमैन श्री मिलभाई मिलाप कंकोटिया, पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट અને આપ સૌ આમંત્રિત સ્ટાર્ટઅપ્સ મિત્રો, ઉદ્યોગપતિઓ અને ધંધા વ્યવસાયીઓ, આપ સર્વેનું આજના ગુજરાત ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ એન્ડ પોલિસી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી ઇન ESDM ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ સિસ્ટમ ડિઝાઇન એન્ડ મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ ફોર સાઉથ ગુજરાત વિષય પર આધારિત અવેરનેસ પ્રોગ્રામમાં હું હાર્દિક સ્વાગત કરું છું, આપ સૌને આવકારું છું. મિત્રો, એક અંદાજ પ્રમાણે ભારતમાં ESDM સેક્ટરની માર્કેટ સાઇઝ $9.48 બિલિયન જેટલું છે. સરકાર દ્વારા તેનો લક્ષ્યાંક વર્ષ 2025માં $300 બિલિયન સુધી પહોંચાડવાનો છે. હાલમાં ભારત વિશ્વમાં બીજા નંબરનું સૌથી મોટું મોબાઈલ મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ સેન્ટર હોય તથા હાલમાં વિશ્વમાં ચાઇનાએ સેમિકન્ડક્ટર પ્રોડક્શનમાં 24% હિસ્સો ધરાવે છે. તાઇવાનનો 21% અને સાઉથ કોરિયાનો 19% હિસ્સો છે. ભારતનો ભાગ આમાં માત્ર 3% છે, જે ખૂબ જ દુઃખ ઉપજાવે અને આપણને સૌને પ્રેરણા આપે વધારો કરવા માટે એવો આ ફિગર છે. વિશ્વમાં હાલમાં દરેક વસ્તુ સ્માર્ટ બનવા માંડી છે. સ્માર્ટ મોબાઈલ, સ્માર્ટ ટીવી, સ્માર્ટ કાર, સ્માર્ટ હોમ, આ બધી વસ્તુઓ સેમિકન્ડક્ટર પર કામ કરતી હોય છે. અને ભારતે જો આર્થિક પ્રગતિ કરવી હોય તો સેમિકન્ડક્ટર ક્ષેત્રે આત્મનિર્ભર થવાની જરૂરિયાત છે. તેનો સંપૂર્ણ અહેસાસ આપણને સૌને કોરોના દરમિયાન થયેલી અસરોના કારણે સ્ટેગ્નેશન જે મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગમાં આવ્યું એના કારણે આપણને સૌને થયો છે, which will lead us to appreciate and to be active in the field which is highly needed for India and to be made available for the world. આ દિશામાં ગુજરાત સરકાર દ્વારા નવી ગુજરાત ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ પોલિસી બહાર પાડવામાં આવી અને ત્યારબાદ વેદાંતા રિસોર્સિસ દ્વારા ગુજરાતમાં ₹1.5 લાખ કરોડનું MOU થયું છે. આવનારા સમયમાં, આવનારા ભવિષ્યમાં આ સેક્ટર દ્વારા હું ચોક્કસપણે માનું છું કે ભારત સેમિકન્ડક્ટર ક્ષેત્રે આત્મનિર્ભર થવા જઈ રહ્યું છે. It's a very exciting statement which need to understand and to realize in our life. વધુમાં ભારત સરકારની ગુજરાત ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ પોલિસી 2022-2028 અંતર્ગત ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક ક્ષેત્રે ટીવી, ડિજિટલ કેમેરા, હેલ્થ એન્ડ મેડિકલ ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ ડિવાઇસીસ, ફોટોવોલ્ટિક સેલ, થીમ ફેમ સેલ, LED, ઓટોમેટિવ ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ ઘણા ખરા ક્ષેત્રોને આવરી લેવાના છે. થોડા સમય પહેલા ચેમ્બર, નીતિ આયોગ અને સુરત મહાનગરપાલિકા દ્વારા વ્હીકલ પોલિસી અંગે એક કાર્યક્રમનું આયોજન થયેલું હતું. ત્યારબાદ ચેમ્બરે સુરત માટે ખાસ ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલ પોલિસી બનાવવા માટેની ધારદાર રજૂઆત કરેલી હતી, જે પગલે આજે નીતિ આયોગ દ્વારા સ્માર્ટ સિટી અંતર્ગત પૂરા ભારતમાં સુરત શહેર મોબિલિટી માટેના પહેલા શહેર તરીકે પસંદગી પામ્યું છે. ધેટ ઇઝ અ ગ્રેટ પ્રાઉડ ફોર અસ. તથા સુરતમાં 300થી વધુ ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલના ચાર્જિંગ સ્ટેશન સ્થાપવાનું પ્લાનિંગ પણ હાથ ધરાયું છે. સુરતમાં ટેક્સટાઇલ, ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટેશન ક્ષેત્રે ઔદ્યોગિક સમૂહોમાં કામ કરતા કર્મચારીઓ વધુમાં વધુ ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલનો વપરાશ કરે તે અંગેની રજૂઆત અને તે થકી રજૂઆતના પડઘા નીતિ આયોગ દ્વારા બનાવાયેલ સુરત મોબિલિટી પ્લાનમાં મૂકવામાં આવ્યા છે. સુરતમાં હાલમાં ઘણા ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલ મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ એકમો આવેલ છે, પરંતુ તેના પાર્ટ્સ હજી પણ આયાત થાય છે. ગુજરાત ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ પોલિસીમાં હું માનું છું કે આમાં વપરાતા ઘણા પાર્ટ્સને આવરી લેવામાં આવ્યા હશે. આ સાથે હું સુરતમાં આવેલ ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલ મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ એકમોને વિનંતી કરીશ કે આજે જે પોલિસી વિશે જાણકારી મળે તેના ઊંડાણપૂર્વક અભ્યાસ કરી ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલ્સમાં વપરાતા વિવિધ પાર્ટ્સના ઉત્પાદન એકમો સુરતમાં નાખવામાં આવે તો ચોક્કસપણે આપણે સૌ ભવિષ્યમાં ડાયમંડ સિટી, સિલ્ક સિટી, સોલાર સિટી તરીકે ઓળખાતા સુરતને પણ IT સિટી તરીકે પણ ઓળખ પૂરી પાડી શકીશું. આ જ સ્ટેજ ઉપરથી થોડા સમય પહેલા આ સ્ટેજ ઉપર જે મહાનુભાવો બેઠા છે એમાંના કેટલાક લોકોએ 9x9 ના IT પ્રેનર્સના પ્રોગ્રામમાં આ સ્ટેજ ઉપરથી, આ જ માઇક ઉપરથી સુરતને IT હબ બનાવવાનો સંકલ્પ જાહેર કર્યો અને એ માટે સૌ અગ્રેસર થઈને એક્ટિવ થઈ રહ્યા છે. ત્યારે hope might be create very well that in near future we would be able to see the Surat city as not only a diamond city, not only a silk city, not only a solar city, but as IT hub also. આજે આપણી વચ્ચે ગુજરાત સ્ટેટ ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સ મિશનના મેનેજિંગ ડિરેક્ટર શ્રી વિદેહ ખરેજી ઉપસ્થિત છે. તેઓ આપણને ગુજરાત સરકારની નીતિ વિશે વિગતવાર સમજણ આપશે તથા આ ક્ષેત્રમાં ઉદ્ભવેલ વ્યાપારની તકો વિશે આપણને વિવિધ એક્સપર્ટ્સ માહિતી પ્રદાન કરશે. મિત્રો, ચેમ્બરનું ઇનિશિયેટિવ હંમેશા એવું રહ્યું છે કે ધંધા વ્યવસાયને પ્રોત્સાહન પૂરું પાડે, એના પ્રશ્નો જે કંઈ હોય તે પ્લેટફોર્મ ઉપર લાવીને ગવર્મેન્ટ કે ઓથોરિટી સુધી પહોંચાડે અને પ્રોપર રિપ્રેઝન્ટેશન કરીને તેનો ઉકેલ થાય, સોલ્યુશન થાય અને આપણો જે ગ્રોથ રેટ છે, જે પ્રોગ્રેસ છે એમાં એક્સેલરેશન આવે એ પ્રકારના પ્રયાસો ચેમ્બર દ્વારા થઈ રહ્યા છે. ત્યારે આપ સૌને આ પ્રસંગે આવકારતા એટલે આનંદ અનુભવું છું કે નાવ વોટ આઈ એમ સીઈંગ ઇન એન્ટાયર ઇન્ડિયા ઇઝ કે આપણું ભારત એક વાઇબ્રન્ટ પોઝિશનમાં આવી રહ્યું હોય અને વર્લ્ડ લીડર બનવા માટે થનગની રહ્યું હોય તેવું લાગે છે. ત્યારે જિંદગીના દરેક ક્ષેત્રમાં ભારત વિશ્વમાં આગળ પડતું રહે અને ભારતમાં ગુજરાત આગળ પડતું રહે અને ગુજરાતમાં સુરત કેમ આગળ પડતું ન રહે એ જ પ્રશ્ન છે. એટલે આપણે સૌ સાથે મળીને સુરતને એક એવી સુરત બ્રાન્ડ બનાવીને વિશ્વની સમક્ષ મૂકીએ કે લોકોનું ધ્યાન ત્યાં ખેંચાવવું જોઈએ. જુદા જુદા ધંધા વ્યવસાયને પ્રોત્સાહન આપતા આપણા પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર શ્રીએ 5 ટ્રિલિયન ઇકોનોમીનું લક્ષ્ય બનાવ્યું છે અને 400 બિલિયન એક્સપોર્ટ્સનું જ્યારે લક્ષ્ય ક્લિયર કર્યું અને ક્રોસ કર્યું ત્યારે ખૂબ ઉત્સાહમાં આવીને નેક્સ્ટ ગોલ 600 બિલિયન એક્સપોર્ટ્સનો કર્યો છે. ત્યારે આ એક વસ્તુ જે આપણે વર્ષોથી બહારથી મંગાવતા હતા, સેમિકન્ડક્ટર ને પીસીબી, એ એવા અહીંયા ઘનશ્યામભાઈ બેઠા જેવા નાના યુવાનો સેમિકન્ડક્ટર અને પીસી બનાવીને અત્યારે ઇન્ડિયામાં વેચવાની સાથે સાથે એક્સપોર્ટ કરતા થઈ રહી છે. ત્યારે આપણને ગૌરવભેર સુરતનું નામ લેવાનું આનંદ પ્રાપ્ત થાય, એમાં કોઈ શંકા નથી. તો આવનારા સમયમાં આ મોદી સાહેબે જે ભારત માટે ડ્રીમ સેવ્યું છે, જે સ્વપ્ન સેવ્યું છે, એ કેમ સાકાર થઈ શકે એના ભાગ રૂપે પણ આ જે પોલિસી બની છે તે પોલિસીના અંતર્ગત આપણને શું લાભો છે, એનો કેવી રીતે ઉપયોગ થઈ શકે, એની શું મર્યાદાઓ છે, એની શું ખામીઓ છે, એ પણ જોઈ સમજી જાણીને આપણે સરકારશ્રી સમક્ષ કે ઓથોરિટી સમક્ષ મૂકી શકીએ તો એના ઓબ્સ્ટેકલ્સ દૂર થાય અને એની જે પોઝિટિવિટી છે એનો ઉપયોગ કરીને નરેન્દ્ર મોદી સાહેબને બેઠા અહીંયા જ આપણે ઈમેલ કરીને કહીએ કે સાહેબ તમે ચિંતા ન કરો, તમારું લક્ષ્ય તો 2027માં પૂરું કરવાનું છે, પણ આ પોલિસી જાણ્યા પછી અમે એ ટાર્ગેટ 2026માં પૂરો કરીને તમને આપી દઈશું, એવી મારી ચેલેન્જ. અને આવી ચેલેન્જ સાથે આપણે સૌ આ દિશામાં આજે આ નોલેજ મેળવી અને આપણા ધંધા વ્યવસાયને સેમિકન્ડક્ટરના ફિલ્ડમાં, ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સના ફિલ્ડમાં જે કંઈ પણ પોસિબિલિટી છે આપણે પણ કરીએ, આપણી સાથેના નાના નવા એન્ટરપ્રાઇઝને, એન્ટરપ્રિનર્સને પણ પ્રોત્સાહન આપી અને આપણું યોગદાન આપીએ તેવી શુભ ભાવના સાથે આપ સૌને ચેમ્બરના મેમ્બર ન હો તો બનવા માટે નમ્ર વિનંતી અને આદરભરી અપીલ કરી વિરમું છું. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ.
Thank you, Rameshbhai Vagasia, Vice President JCCI. So, next we are moving to next. Before that, આમાંથી હિન્દી ગુજરાતી લેંગ્વેજ પ્રેફરન્સ કોઈને હોય તો જસ્ટ મેન્શન કે શું હોવું જોઈએ આગળના સેશન માટે. તો સ્પીકર્સને પણ વધારે हिंदी और इंग्लिश, नो गुजराती. ओके ओके, वो गुजरात है तो थोड़ा चल जाएगा. हाँ बस वही. So that's why I asked because you know audience are mixed match and speakers also are comfortable in other language. So okay, let's move into next part. We have floral facilitation and presentation of memento. So I just call up the speaker here and dignitaries here. So Shri Viday Khare, MD GSEM, please come forward. Facilitated by Vice President Ramesh Bagasia. Round of applause from this class. Thank you, Mr. Viday Khare, and thank you, Dias. Next, Shri Sudhir Nayak. Shri Sudhir Naik, please come on stage. Bouquet by Mr. Ramesh Vagasia. And memento by our Secretary Pavish Taylor.
મેં રમેશભાઈને ચેલેન્જ આપી છે કે પોલિસીની અંદર તમે ડિફેક્ટ કરીને આપો one of the finest policy.
Thank you. Shri Anupam Shukla. Shri Anupam Shukla. Okay. Dr. Pradeep Thakur, please come on stage. Pradeep Thakur by facilitated by yes. Ramesh Vagasia and Harish Kalkatawala. Yes. Dr. Anand Darji. Dr. Anand Darji, yes.
I request Mr. Puneet ji to give him bouquet. And then I request all dignitaries to join for memento. Thank you. Now I request all dignitaries, Harish bhai, please join for the memento felicitation. Yeah, I will.
Dr. Nitin Patel.
20 વર્ષની મારી પ્રેક્ટિસમાં કોઈ ઓફિસરે કે આ સ્ટેજ ઉપરથી આવીને એવું નથી કીધું કે આ પોલિસીમાં કોઈ પણ રૂલમાં કંઈક ખામી હોય તો બતાવજો. આપણને એ આનંદ છે કે this spirit they have shown here.
Dr. Nitin Patel. Yes. Yes. Is there? Yes. Mr. Ramesh Vagasia. I request Mr. Nitin Patel to come on dais. And now all dignitaries please come on front end for lighting lamp. ભારતીય સંસ્કૃતિમાં લાઇટિંગ ધ લેમ્પ પછી જે એક પોઝિટિવ વાઇબ્સ લઈને આજની ઇવેન્ટ ચાલુ કરીએ, હું શ્રી ગણપતભાઈ ધમેલિયાને આમંત્રણ કરું છું, ચેરમેન આઈટી કમિટી SGCCI, કે આજના પ્રોગ્રામ વિશે બહુ થોડા વખતમાં સમજાવે અને આપણે પછી પ્રોગ્રામની શરૂઆત કરીએ. થેન્ક યુ. ગણપતભાઈ.
નમસ્કાર, ગુડ ઇવનિંગ. હું સ્ટેજ ઉપર બેઠેલા બધા મહેમાનોનું નામ ફરીથી બોલતો નથી. તમારો અને અમારો બંનેનો સમય કિંમતી. સર્વ સન્માનીય ડાયસ ઉપર બેઠેલા અને શ્રોતા તરીકે તમે જે આવ્યા છો ઉદ્યોગ સાહસિક લોકોને મારા નમસ્કાર. આજે ભારતમાં જે યશસ્વી અને ઓજસ્વી વડાપ્રધાન નરેન્દ્રભાઈ મોદી છે, એનું જે વિઝન મિશન ને ગોલ છે 2047 સુધીનું એની નક્કી કરેલું છે. અને ટૂંક જ સમયમાં જેમ વઘાસિયા સાહેબે કીધું એમ કે આપણે ભારતને 6 બિલિયન ટ્રિલિયનની ઇકોનોમી, 5 ટ્રિલિયનની ઇકોનોમી કઈ રીતે બને એ દિશામાં વડાપ્રધાન, સરકાર અને બધા પ્રયત્નો કરી રહ્યા છે. એક હું તમને જાણ કરીશ કે ઓલ ઓવર ઇન્ડિયામાં સૌથી વધારે જો ટેસ્ટિંગ થતું હોય કે ક્વોન્ટિટી બેઝ ટેસ્ટિંગ ક્યાં શક્ય છે તો એ ઇન્ડિયામાં શક્ય છે. તમે કદાચ અમેરિકામાં જાઓ અને એક ટ્રેનના ડબ્બામાં તમે જો 300 લોકો બેસી જાઓ તો ત્યાંની ટ્રેને બેસી જાય. કેપેસિટી નથી હોતી. આપણી ટ્રેનની કેપેસિટી ખરી કે એક ડબ્બામાં 1000 બેસી જાય તોય કંઈ ન થાય. એટલે ટેસ્ટિંગ માટે ભારત સર્વશ્રેષ્ઠ છે. સંખ્યાની દ્રષ્ટિએ હું એવું માનું છું, કેમ કે આપણી ત્યાં ક્વોલિટી કદાચ ઓછી હશે, હું નથી માનતો ઓછી છે, પણ ક્વોન્ટિટી તો ખરી છે. તો આનું યુટિલાઇઝેશન આપણે ઇકોનોમીને ડાયનેમિક કરવા કઈ રીતે લઈ શકાય એ વિઝન સાથે ભારતના વડાપ્રધાને ઘણા બધા પ્રયોગો કર્યા. જેમ કે હું તમને યુપીઆઈ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શનનું કહું તો યુપીઆઈ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન આજે 22 અબજ યુપીઆઈ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન થાય છે વિધાઉટ ફેલ. અને ડેમ શ્યોર કે તમારે જો યુપીઆઈ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન ફેલ થયું હોય તો તમારે તરત જ રિફંડ આવી જાય છે. એટલે આટલી સક્સેસ એપ બનાવવા પાછળ જે NPCIનું યોગદાન છે એને ધ્યાનમાં રાખીને ભારતે એવું કીધું કે આજથી એવા પ્રયત્ન ચાલુ કર્યા તમે ફોરેન જાઓ તો ત્યાં પણ તમે ગૂગલ પે, યુપીઆઈ, ભારત ભીમ દ્વારા પેમેન્ટ કરી શકો. તમારે ડોલર પરચેઝ ન કરવા પડે, જેથી ભારતને વિદેશી ઉનિયમનનું ભારણ ન થાય અને આપણો રૂપિયો સર્વે બને અને આખા એશિયામાં કઈ રીતે યુપીઆઈ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન થાય અને એ સર્વિસ પ્રયત્નશીલ છે ગવર્મેન્ટ. આવા જ ભાગરૂપે કે ગવર્મેન્ટને ધ્યાનમાં આવ્યું કે ભાઈ આપણે હાર્ડવેરનો યુઝ કેટલો છે, તો નાયક સાહેબ તમને હું કહું કે પર અવર આપણે 19,000 મોબાઈલ સેલ થાય છે ભારતમાં. પર અવર 19,000 મોબાઈલ સેલ થતા હોય, બાકીની ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક સંસાધનો તમે મૂકો તો કેટલા કે સેમિકન્ડક્ટરનો યુઝ થાય છે અને કેટલા સેમિકન્ડક્ટરો આપણે ફોરેનથી ઇમ્પોર્ટ કરવા પડે છે. ત્યાં પણ ડોલરની ખપત જાય છે, રૂપિયાનું મૂલ્ય પણ ઓછું થાય છે એના લીધે. તો આ બધું રૂપિયો સ્ટ્રોંગ કરવા માટે શું કરી શકાય? તો સેમિકન્ડક્ટર આપણે કેમ નહીં ભારતમાં મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ કરીએ. 1 કલાકના 19,000 મોબાઈલ સેલ થતા હોય તો તમે વર્ષે આંકી શકો કે કેટલો આંકડો એ મોટો હોઈ શકે. આજે તમે કોઈ પણ રૂમ, હોલ, કિચન, ગાર્ડન જ્યાં પણ બેઠા હો તમે નજર ફેરવો તો કોઈક તમને 3-4 વસ્તુ એવી દેખાય જેમાં સેમિકન્ડક્ટર હોય છે. તો જેથી ઇન્ડિયન સરકાર જે છે એની એક સ્થાપના કરી એસોસિએશનની, જેના આપણા ગુજરાતના ચેરમેન અહીંયા સુધીરભાઈ નાયક બેઠેલા છે. એસોસિએશનનું નામ છે ઇન્ડિયન ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક એન્ડ સેમિકન્ડક્ટર એસોસિએશન. એ ગુજરાત ચેપ્ટરના ચેરમેન છે. આના ભાગરૂપે ગુજરાત સરકારે સેમિકન્ડક્ટરની પોલિસી બનાવી કે ભાઈ આને પ્રોત્સાહન મળે, સબસિડી મળે અને સેમિકન્ડક્ટરની આપણે જો મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ કરવામાં આવે તો કઈ રીતે ગુજરાત ઇકોનોમી સ્ટ્રોંગ બને, ભારતની ઇકોનોમી પણ સ્ટ્રોંગ બને, એ દિશામાં પ્રયાણ ચાલુ થયા. આજે હમણાં જ પૂરી 3-1 મહિના પહેલાંની વાત છે તો એપલ કંપનીએ સુરતની કંપની સાથે સંજયભાઈ 1,000 કરોડનું MOU કર્યું. અહીંયા સ્પેર પાર્ટ એપલના બનશે સુરતમાં. એટલે આ એક આપણી સુરતની પણ, સાઉથ ગુજરાતની પણ તાકાત છે કે ઉદ્યોગ ધંધામાં કોઈ પણ વસ્તુ નવી આવે તો તરત એક્સેપ્ટ કરવાની જે સુરતની તાકાત છે એને ધ્યાનમાં રાખીને 1000 કરોડનું MOU એપલનું થયું છે. એટલે ભવિષ્યમાં પણ આવા ઇન્ટરનેશનલ મલ્ટીનેશનલ જે બ્રાન્ડ છે એના MOU થાય, મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ અહીંયા થાય, અહીંયાથી આપણે એક્સપોર્ટ કરીએ ચાઇનાની જેમ. અને એ કઈ રીતે થાય કે જ્યારે સેમિકન્ડક્ટર અહીંયા હોય તો. એટલે ગુજરાત સરકારે બહુ સિમ્પલ, સોબર, સારી પોલિસી મૂકી છે અને એના વિશે જ આજે તમને અહીંયાથી જાણકારી મળશે કઈ રીતે તમારે એમાં યુટિલાઇઝેશન કરવું. પોલિસીમાં કંઈ ફેરફાર હોય તો સાહેબે તો કીધું જ છે, મને જણાવજો, હું ચેન્જ કરી આપીશ. અને એ છતાં કે ભવિષ્યમાં સેમિકન્ડક્ટર હાર્ડવેર અને બધી જ વસ્તુ આપણે અહીંયા બને. વર્લ્ડમાં ફેમસ છે ડિજિટલ સિલિકોન વેલી, આપણે સુરતને ડિજિટલ વેલી બનાવી છે. નમસ્કાર, જય હિન્દ, ભારત માતા કી જય.
થેન્ક યુ ગણપતભાઈ, તમારું કહેવા પ્રમાણે સુરતને ડિજિટલ વેલી બનાવીને જ રહેશું. સો આજના ફર્સ્ટ ટોપિક આપણે જે કવર કરવાના છીએ છે ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ ઇન ESDM એન્ડ વાય નોટ ઇન સાઉથ ગુજરાત. સો એમના સ્પીકર શ્રી સુધીર નાયક, જેમને હું આવકારું છું. અને સુધીર નાયક એ આઈઝા ચેપ્ટર EIECA ગુજરાત ચેપ્ટરના ચેર છે, કો ફાઉન્ડર ઓફ ઇન્ફો ચીપ છે. અને જેમ ગણપતભાઈ કીધું એમ કે એ સાહેબ ગુજરાતના ચેપ્ટર્સના લીડ છે ને એ એસોસિએશન શું કામગીરી કરે છે ને આ કઈ રીતના આપણે વધી શકીએ એમના જ દ્વારા સાંભળીએ. સો આઈ વેલકમ મિસ્ટર સુધીર નાયક ફોર ફર્સ્ટ ટોપિક ઓફ ટુડે. થેન્ક યુ.
Anyway, very good evening to all of you, and it gives me great delight to welcome you all and one who are present in this hall. I also would like to express my sincere thanks to Southern Gujarat Chamber of Commerce, President, leadership team, and all of you for investing your time. At least I promise you that by the time this particular event is over, there will be something for all of you to carry home. Your time will not get wasted, that much I can tell you. We started half an hour late, so we might have to compromise on some of the things which I want to talk. I think most important is to understand the policy also. If I cannot complete my entire talk, I think we can have another program for that actually. But our stress should be more on understanding the policy. આપણે એવું કહેવાય છે ગુજરાતીમાં કે લક્ષ્મી ચાંદલો કરવા આવે ત્યારે મોં ધોવા નહીં જવાનું હોય. પહેલાં we used to go to government for help. Now government is coming to your doorstep to give you money. Once you see the policy, you will be jabbed. At least I am jabbed for sure. Second thing, I am also born and brought up in South Gujarat. મારી કર્મભૂમિ ભલે અમદાવાદ રહી છે, but I am graduated from PT Science and then I did my engineering in electronics. I have never studied semiconductors. I have always studied pentode, triode, diode, valves actually. That was the era. Myself, semiconductor, transistor and Gujarat University were born in the same year. So that is one coincidence on that actually. Two things I would like to just re-emphasize on what these two people have said before me, that India is selling 19,000 mobile phone. I will take one step further and say that 5G is not yet rolled out. Our import for 5G mobile has been $20 million. It's already landed, available. The moment 5G is rolled out, it will be, everybody will have 5G enabled mobiles with all of them. Number two, total export of India in IT, ITES services and semiconductor is somewhere around $235 million. Out of Gujarat is minuscule, 5,000 crore maybe. It's nothing. And people used to tell that we have missed the IT bus. My very popular saying is that we missed the bus because we wanted to embark the bullet train. So, I tell you, in the history of India, $20 billion investment in one stroke, nobody has seen. No state has seen, no area has seen, no industry has seen. This is the first time that $20 billion is 1.60 lakh crore rupees. Also, there is a possibility of another memory company. They may come. They are ready to invest $10 billion. Now, if this happens, no, the GDP of Gujarat is going to be 3 times multiplied in 5 years. We hope and we pray and we are lucky that you have people like Mr. Vijay Khare and Nehraji. He himself has worked in TSMC and Samsung and other places, so he is very knowledgeable. He is IAS officer, but all the same he has worked in this industry. So these two things. ESDM, I think it is explained, electronic system design and manufacturing. I will go into that actually, I will dwell on that. I will start with two of the statement which I am going to make now. Then which I am making with a lot of responsibility to those statement and after a lot of study. And the whole thing revolves, ESDM revolves around that actually. First thing is that we never thought or think of the chip few years back. I think pandemic people started talking about chip. Every small kid started knowing about the chips actually. Though it has made the modern world in which we live. There is not a single activity since we get up till we go to the sleep, and even during sleep it measures how much sleep we had and how much calorie we have burned and everything, our pulse rate. But we never thought of chip, what chip is actually. I think I will not go into the what chip is and how chip is made, but I will give some. I will finish in 45 minutes, which I have given to me. I will not overspeed. If I overspeed, I will cut short it actually. But it is very critical. What I am saying that we never thought of the chip, though it has made the modern world in which we live. Second thing is that the fate of the nation has turned to the ability to harness the power of computing. If you see globally, the nation which has a large computing power built into the entire nation, they are number one. If you look at our economy, it is somewhere around $3.6 trillion. The world economy is close to $100 trillion. US itself is $25 trillion. That is one statement. You keep it in mind that the nation fate has done in harnessing the power of computing. Those who can compute more are going to be more powerful. No war is fought on the ground now. Everything is done in air. Even from sea it is going to the air. So absolutely there is no way you can live or you can rule the world or country without semiconductor and chip. That is number one. Number two is the world globalization, as we know, will not be possible to exist unless and until semiconductor and electronics products which has made it possible. Just to give you a small point of reference, one chip when it comes in your hand, chip comes, it made from the silicon, એટલે રેતી માંથી બને છે actually, સિલિકામાંથી સિલિકા બને અને પછી પ્રોસેસ થાય અને ચિપ બને છે. We will go there slowly and silently. It travels 50,000 kilometers. Then one chip comes in your hand. Most of the sand to silica is done in China and Russia. Then there are TSMCs and this and that and all those things. So if the whole thing is completely, the supply chain is very, very complex for making chip. Today no country can say that I can make chip independently. After these geopolitical issues, people started investing. Today as I am talking to you, $600 billion are under investment in making the fabs globally. Samsung, I think last month announced $230 billion to be invested in fab. US is already investing $150 billion. We are investing here, government of India has already committed $10 billion as a subsidy, plus state subsidy and all those things. So I think it can tell you that what that chip has done to our day-to-day life actually, and to the nations. So it is very, very important to see that chip, it is the most complex technology on earth to manufacture chip. I will show you through some of the slides, then you will be able to appreciate that actually. And once again I will prove that the power of computing. You take the case of, I think somebody referred about Apple, $100,000 is the MOU signed. This mobile phone, i14, can you guess how many transistors are in? If it is 14, it is a 14 billion transistor, 14 billion. 1 billion is 10 raised to 6. Do you know how many instruction it clears in a second? 1 trillion. 1 trillion transactions take place in 1 second in this phone. And all this is possible because of solid state transistors. And the transistors which are used in this are currently is in 7 nanometer and 5 nanometer node actually. And that these chips are 90% manufactured only by one company, and that is TSMC. Samsung is doing to a certain extent, but the yield is not that great. But the market in India and worldwide, 50% of the white goods market is captured by 40 nanometer or 45 nanometer and 16 nanometer. We need not to go for this. There is enough market for all of us to manufacture chip which are in 45 nanometer, and it is matured technology, so that our yield is better actually. So this is one thing I wanted to let you know. Three people who has contributed to the growth of these transistors are very, very important people, and you should know them actually just by the name of it. And when they have seen, in 1904, the first time vacuum diode was invented. Then in 1948, solid state transistor came out, and then commercially it was made available little later. Bob Noisy, who was a guy, he was very enthusiastic, he was visionary, and he knows what kind of technology is needed to make transistor small, fast, and economical. It is his brainchild at that point of time. Eventually they formed the TI and Intel. Second guy was Kilby. He introduced the idea of taking so many transistors on one silicon layer, which he coined the word integrated circuit. That word was coined by him actually. And third person is Mr. Gordon Moore. Afterwards, whatever prediction he has made, it got converted into law, which was known as the Moore's law. What it says that in the same density of the silicon, the number of transistors accommodated will double every 18 months. And today that is happening. Still 18 billion transistors are coming to that extent actually. He started Intel, co-founded. He expired I think a month before. He was 94 when he expired. His market cap was $12 billion at that point of time. But he is one person. There are so many other people. There is an excellent book, if somebody is interested, you can read, The Chip War. Chip War. CHIPWAR War. It's a Gita for the semiconductor, I tell you. It is eye-opener, the way the thing has moved actually. All what we are seeing is nothing. What they have done is really a miracle actually. Now this is one concept I have given. I discussed a little bit about the economy, world economy, 100 trillion or so close to, US is 25 trillion. Anybody has idea what is the market cap of Apple? 2.1 trillion market cap. TCS market cap is nowhere comparable. Apple profit per annum is $175 billion. They can buy 85 countries. That much cash resource. The profit of TCS is below 2 digit. Maybe it is 8. I think they make around 8,000, 9,000 crore per quarter, 36 or so, which is compared to Apple it is peanut. Number two is that even RIL for that matter, they are nowhere. All the company put together of India, first top 5 companies, they cannot beat Apple. And the primary reason is that they have harnessed the power of computing. I will keep talking on this actually. This is very critical and very responsible statement I am making. Those who masters that will, and there are so many other examples you will see in the slides. It has a lot of numbers and we call it in philosophy it is called tautology. When you talk something obvious again and again to emphasize it, the word used is tautology. For example, do you know Apple? Do you know Facebook? Do you know Google? He said, what nonsense he's talking. We know everything. But you don't know what it takes to make a Facebook or what they are doing actually, or what it involves. So I'll start with some data on that. So this will is content. If somebody has a flap there, who can even 5 minute left, 7 minute left kind of display comes? No. The whole world is working on binary actually. So if you see anything when you talk to in digital world, it is between 0, 1 and 2, and 2 is the base. So you will say that 256 KB, 1 KB, 512 GB, like that only thing comes because it is 2 raised to something, because there is only 0 and 1. And 0 and 1 represent the transistor is on or off. When the transistor is off, it is considered 1, and transistor is on, it is considered 0. That is how the entire binary world is evolved. So anything that, so 1024 bytes is 1 kilo, we say. So 24 is just removed for the simplicity. Otherwise it comes to, you go to 2 raised to 8, it will be 1024. So that is how that whole logic is working. So solid state transistor made it possible. And NASA program, Apollo things, if you have seen, they place a lot of order on transistors. That is how it got matured. Earlier, when they sent the first Yan, the room for computer was the largest occupying premises because there were all tubes. It was most unreliable. But once the transistor came into the system, it has learned these things. Okay, few things, you just look at the slides. Hello. Can you hear? See, email. Now, email is, Dr. what I say is that you know we send email. 333 billion emails every day is sent. It's working. Yes. 1.145 trillion MB data created every day globally. 100 billion messages sent on WhatsApp. Images sent and uploaded every day, 350 millions. Messages sent and received every day on Facebook, 60 billion. Now, why this is critical? That these numbers are fine, it's a big number. We understand it's a big number. But these numbers are where? See, when we say cloud, everything is stored in cloud. So cloud is not in the sky. Somewhere it has to be stored. And that is all stored thanks to these transistors. Whether it is a memory or it is server or wherever it is going. Everywhere you will see the transistor has played the role actually of turning our life, what we are living today. We cannot think, or I tell people that if petrol is not available for 3 days, nothing is going to happen. We will walk down to the store and buy something and eat. But if this data is switched off for 2 hours, we will go mad. We can't survive. Not because of mobile, but it is a part of our life. It is not just mobile for entertainment or for messaging. But nothing works. No aircraft can land. Everything will stand still. So that is the beauty of it. Okay, so I was talking about nanometer. What is that node? You see, DNA is 2.5. No, not nano. It's a
nanometer
diameter. Oh, I will see here. No, I don't know that. Nano is going on that side. Okay. Let me see. I have to use those slides. See, DNA is smallest millimole. Then bacteria is 2.5 microcentimeters. Large raindrop is 2.5 millimeters. That will just give you some idea. Okay. So one raindrop is 2.5 millimeter. Then single walled carbon nanotube, you can see it is 1 millimeter. 1 nanometer. Then our hair, I think that will give you idea. It is 80,000 to 1 lakh nanometer. One hair. And we are talking about making chip on 5 nanometer node and 7 nanometer node. So it is, if you really look at how it is processed, I don't want to go, I have a video, how the actually from silicon to wafer to these things. Down below we have displayed everything. If you have time, you can go and look at it, actually what the chips looks like and other things. That's not important, but I think you can compare with the hair. So that will give you some dimension that where this node technology is going. Recently, I think we tapped out some 7 nanometer, 5 nanometer is just done. People are going at 1.5 nanometer, but I think beyond that what happens, I have no idea. Moore's law is challenged now. Up till now, Moore's law was valid from 1965 till date. Another thing which I want to just let you know that there were no fabless company. Earlier, when the transistor came and the integrated circuit came into the existence, the company like Intel, TI, Philips, they used to design, they have their own fab to manufacture and they used to sell. So there was no independent player like Infochips. In 1985, TSMC decided that let's make chip manufacturing plant. So they started chip manufacturing plant and it was belonging to no one, no designer. So people like Infochips, they can design. If you want to design some chip or product, you come to me, I design chip for you. We go to TSMC, manufacture and make the product. Afterwards, this fabless design house has come into existence and thanks to TSMC for that actually. And today they are leader. 90% of the mobile chips are built with that. In spite of that, the trade balance between US and China, China is importing US is importing everything from China, most of the things. There is no manufacturing left much in US. But the trade surplus for this vertical between US and China is $250 billion positive for US people. The primary reason is that, I don't want to use the bad language, but it is a less paying job. Value add is less in manufacturing compared to the designing. So all IP which are used in making the chips is owned by US and that is more expensive and there is no recurring cost into it. Once you have designed, like Microsoft license, you just keep milking cow it is. Go in the morning and milk the cow, go in the evening and milk the cow. So you keep milking. The rest of the people are busy making chips. He is making money by just cutting the license. So value add is going to be extremely important. That is the message. It is good and that is why we say that if we have a fab and if we start manufacturing chips over here, if somebody else will come from other state or from other country and they make the product out of our, then we are just going to do that kind of a work. So that's why Surat or Ahmedabad or Baroda, it becomes very critical that we create a value added products and we need people like him, we need people like Mukeshbhai, Emtron, who are having a latest facility to manufacture the populated board and system. They can help in manufacturing us actually. We need many more. My dream is that every district should have ESDM cluster in Gujarat. If you want to achieve this 300 billion or 1 trillion actually, with the economy which we are looking at, out of this is $1 trillion. One hexabyte is 10 raised to 18. So I don't want to put a number, it is very difficult to write down actually. The biggest number, do you know, which is in the use today in the world? Beyond that, we call it infinity. In computer language, another thing, 10 raised to 100 is the largest practical number which is in the use. Beyond that, nobody is writing anything. So this is what is, you see, 1986 3 to 6800. By the time I talk to you and give this number, no, that number changes. It is that fast. No data is correct. You will check, you can challenge me because it is so much data we generate. This is a YouTube case. Every day 8.7 million new video is uploaded. Only on YouTube I am talking about. this many hours average length of 4.5 minutes video. 2.6 billion users in 2022 of YouTube. Every day 1 billion hours of video is watched, that is 8.4 minutes per person. 63% watch comes from mobile phone. 90% people say they discover a new product or product on YouTube. When I want to buy something, I go to YouTube and figure it out. Earlier it used to be Google. Now ChatGPT is coming. I will go there afterwards if time permits. 500 hours of video is uploaded every minute here. You think what happens? Why so? Do you know why it is so enormous number of data? Because if you take one color picture, it has a 8,40,000 bits it has to store. Because color, it is a 8 bit by 8 bit into 8 bit, so it is 16,000 colors are there in the one picture actually. Now that is one picture. Now if you are doing the video, let's say 30-second frame per second, how much video we have to store? And they say, where it is stored? In cloud. Where is the cloud? We don't know. This kind of work is going, and that is why the transistors are becoming more and more difficult to get, and market is going bigger and bigger. Against that, electronics is only one thing, that product prices has always fallen with the time. It never happens that the TV price has gone up or mobile price has gone up. First 6 months when it is on this curve, no? Initially people are trying, who are the technology savvy, they will buy whatever cost it is, then it goes, then it gets saturated, and then it drops. So most of the TV now available, even 125 cm or whatever TV you see, it is throwaway price. Mobile phone 14, if it comes, 13 becomes cheaper. Why? What is the reason? There are so many reasons. I will give you a very small example, very gross example, so that it goes into your mind. And why I am taking so much of time, because if you want to understand ESDM, you must understand what is happening within this world actually. You take a microwave. Now the chip, they do not make for different models. They will not enable all the features when the chip is made. 10,000 rupees, this much function. 14,000 rupees, this many function. 20,000 rupees, this much function. So that is very easy when you make this kind of a chip actually. So that changes the price, not the production. So earlier they will extract all the money, and when competition comes, it falls. Price will keep falling, and this is going to happen. Technology is changing. That what we were doing earlier, now we are talking about 7 nanometer. Earlier it was 180 nanometer. We have some plant in Mohali where they are manufacturing at least 180 nanometer chip actually, and primarily it is used by SEC and ISRO, because that is one area which is very secretive. Nobody can, if you use anybody else chip, the information can go out. So they came out with a NAVIC chip, and the NAVIC chip, before NAVIC chip we used to use the GPS from US, and the variance was 50 meter. So if you get the car, in my building it will come on this side or it will go on that side, was not known. After NAVIC it is 3 meter. Maximum error is 3 meter. It is so perfect and so good. So indigenous development is making records. There are many records by SEC, by cheapest, first time go right, so many things are there. I am not here to talk on that actually. But we have once again a guy from Talsana. He is heading the SEC Ahmedabad, and he has developed most of the chips actually. His name is Mr. Nilesh Desai, and he is a product of LD or somewhere actually. Excellent person, means brilliant person, no match to him. Maybe I will not surprise, he becomes the head of the entire SEC in time to come. Second surprising thing is that AI has come into the picture, and that has changed the whole dynamics of data creation. Whatever data we see, in 90% of the data is created only in last 2 years. And every year you will talk like that, every year. Next year when I talk, I will say the same thing, because it is becoming so fast actually. So 2.5 quintillion bytes of data is created. Now just caution that bytes and bits, there is a difference. You don't go there. Actually, you can use any word, bits or bytes, doesn't matter. When you are talking about 10 raised to 18, I think 8 bits or bytes doesn't matter. But there is a difference when you talk. Bytes is 8. This is just for the information. One more thing you should know, that India, we talk about India, our old heritage, like Pushpak Viman and all those things, no? Same thing is true here also. If you see 500 years ago, for the inventory control, people in the Sumerians, they in Mesopotamia, Iraq, used to cuneiform tables to take the inventory of this thing. Since then, the barcoding was there actually, which we are using today. So India had then surrounding people a lot of brain actually, but we did not put to use because the semiconductor was not available. 69% of world population, that is 4.9 billion people, use internet. Now, when internet, when it was invented, it was for war, for those people, not for common people. They never knew that this will take these things. That also I will talk a little later. This is very interesting data, if you want to know. India has a population of 1.35 billion today. 135 કરોડ લોકો 140 કરોડ હશે. હવે થોડું આટલી 140 માં 135 માં 5 કરોડ આમ તેમ ખબર નથી પડતી. Internet 700 million people. 1 million is, you know, 10 raised to 6. Facebook 400. YouTube 467. LinkedIn 83 million. Mobile cell users 1.14 billion. Another beauty of mobile, laptop and other things, if you have experience, their life is 3 years. Everybody, you have to change the mobile at every 3 years. You have to change the laptop because they will have some software which will not work on that OS. And if you want to put that OS, you have to change the laptop. So that's how they make the money. But these are very good numbers. 22 GB data is consumed per user per month in India currently. It is likely to go to 50 GB. IoT devices. I think everybody is aware about IoT devices. What I think I'm going to sort of time. So, but it is moving 2019 8.6 to 29 billion devices. Think of the transistors which are going into all those things, semiconductors, the electronics. So if you take software and hardware, our consciousness is a software, our brain is a hardware, and all these are drivers. Like if you make a printer, then circuitry or microwave, it will work. But if you have to rotate the disk of the microwave, you need a driver. So these are the drivers. Brain is computing, and if consciousness is not, then nothing happens. So this device has no value if there is no software. So it's very well integrated. Again, Indian economy is 3.5 or 3.6 trillion US dollar today. Against that, the spend worldwide in IT, look at the numbers, 4.4 trillion dollar, not rupee. Growth 0.5, 23, 4.6, it is going 5.5%. It is going to be 5 trillion. It's a massive thing, spending in electronics. 5 trillion US dollars, our economy is 3.5 trillion. Think of it, the opportunity. I am putting this number, you look at the opportunity. If you can just scratch the hair of this number, we are done. Okay. See, it is extremely difficult to predict the future because of infinite variables. The people, pragmatics, they failed to predict few years back that WhatsApp and other social media impact. They couldn't predict pandemic. They couldn't predict work from home will come. So prediction is extremely difficult. That is the point I'm making. However, based on 2 decades data, people have tried to estimate that 2046 or 2047, when we complete 100 years, how India is going to look like. So I have tried to put down some numbers. Mobile phones, 36 crore in 2000. Now 110 crore in 2030. So 2046 you can think of. And 30% is a replacement market. That is not coming over here. Mobile has to be thrown off. Nobody repairs. Now we are also like US. No repairing. Throw it off. Cars. I am not talking about 2002-3, it is not relevant. 48 lakhs cars are going to be manufactured this year. It's done by March. It is going to be, looks like very big number. 100 lakhs from 48 lakhs. And all car, if you take Tesla, it has anywhere between 3,500 to 5,000 chips. You take any other ordinary car, non-EV car, even in India, they have around 700 chips. It is believed that on an average, every car will have $500 worth of semiconductor. That is going to be the market. Domestic flyer. This year it is 24 crore. It is going to be 48 crore. So we will need the entire infrastructure to manage this. And understand, nothing is possible without having a semiconductor chip and software. Keep that in mind always when I am throwing the number. People living in city, today 50% people are living in cities. Cities, then they use more, everything, electricity, software, internet, bandwidth, everything. Only one child. Earlier there was a concept of 3 child, then it went to 2 child. It will be 1 child eventually. Can't afford. Sensex today is running around 60,000 in that range. It will be more than 2 lakhs for sure. 10 lakhs rupees per annum package, salary package will be considered low income group. 18 million NRI in 23, 31 million NRIs will be coming here for weddings and other things. Automotive, I'm not going in, I think others. Okay, I'm just taking one sector to exemplify these things, that in amount of $41 billion was used in automotive is in 21. 22 it is 47.40 billion. 2026 $72.75 billion will go only in one vertical, that is automotive. It's a massive number. No one fab can meet all these numbers. I think Ahmedabad become the hub or cluster of fab. Not one fab. I think we will have 3-4 fabs in time to come. By the time I may not be there, but I think most of you will be able to see that actually. In automotive, where this is going, that also we are getting. Hey, how much? Where these chips are used here? What they are they opening the doors, or for what actually? So infotainment, driver assistance, EV, running the motor, and rest of the things is used there actually. So percentage I have given there. I think it is okay. Having understood what chip is, what electronics is, what it takes, I think this is what is this subject matter today. So I spend 80% of my time in the basics, because I think this can be understood once you have this slide, but what goes into it is going to be very difficult. So I spend some time. I can talk for at least one full day on semiconductor, but I think that is not the time today. Today we have to give time to Khareji, because that's also equally critical actually. So if you look at the market, see there, can you read these slides? No. So you see there are all verticals, healthcare and see gaming is one of the biggest market today, emerging market in the world. And AR, VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, and hybrid. You will see different world in 5 years. I can tell you for sure. There is no need to come to this hall. You will feel that I am talking to you you feel that you are sitting in the room and still you will have the same experience what you are having today. Technology is going there actually. Second thing, to make electronic system or electronic product is a part of the entire system. For example, if you have a video management software to monitor any mall or school or this building, then you have a camera, it has a sensor, then it do the each counting. Whatever required information, that only will take inside, not the entire video, because it is of no use to store the video which is not needed. Whenever some event take place, you should bring, so AI will do that, or there will be a analytics on the top of the camera. They will decide and they will send only the 3 or 4 frames before the event and 4 frames after the event which you can store, so that your storing becomes limited. Number 2, retrieving is very difficult. See, it is not about storing. You store the video for 365 days, and then if you want to find out what happened in January 10th, how you will go back? When you will feed that? Where is the time? So all those things are going to happen. Defense is very big field. Today I think we are doing replacement, and all negative goods are every day increasing. If you look at the central government, see that the negative list is extremely huge, and they want to indigenize, and we are doing that actually. And our satellites, what SAC is doing is phenomenal thing actually. Yeah, so we can do on the same thing on their automotive driving, AI, biomedical devices, industry 5.0. Mukesh bhai, tomorrow 5.0. Industry 5.0 is coming, telecom, IoT, healthcare. All those sectors have tremendous opportunity. What you need is airport and road connectivity. Surat is so well, now there is international flight going from Surat. You have port, Hajira, big port. You have connectivity to IIT Gandhinagar, you have connectivity to IIT Bombay, and you have SVNIT, and there are 10, 12 colleges here in Surat Engineering College, then Bardoli and Valsad. I think talent is not an issue. We need finishing school. Let them be engineer or whatever it is, and then 1 year train them on specific thing, verification, back end, IoT, whatever it is. No need to go back to from day one actually. So I think finishing school is one answer to this. Number 2, all men are not going to be enough to pick up this job. We are going to be short of that. Unless until 30% of the at least girls or women are being brought into this game, we will not be able to win the game. Today in my company we have 20% of the women working. This year our goal, how much? 30%. So we are aiming to have 30% as the. So what people leave, replacement is done only by women or girls. Because it is not by choice. We are not going to meet the demands. That is what the kind of the demand which we are seeing. Capacity building, as I talked to you, talent creation and diploma degree. For a lot of diploma holders will need it. Sanjay Bhai was talking that why can't we have a diploma in electronics in Palsana. My another friend Bhupendra Amin, who is in Bilimora Education Trust, he says why don't you start diploma in electronics in Bilimora, Palsana. Like that we have to do that actually, because fab will need more and more diploma holder. They will need lot of chemists. They will need lot of people who are knowing the gas, making physics, chemistry, but everything. So it's not only about designing the chip. There is a much larger things, and there is opportunity for every branch. And if we are not, it will take 3 to 4 years to run the fab. It will take time, that much time. Meanwhile, we have a right now leeway. We can train our people or students to grab that opportunity. And I tell you, the salary which is available in chip design business is not there in any industry. It is not there in IoT or nowhere. It is a fabulous salary. Package is phenomenal. 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs crore is nothing. And the very potential area for this people who experience is 3 to 10 years band. They are the most in demand. Balance afterwards becomes manager. Managers are easy to replace, but those who can do the job with hand, that's going to be limited. Your time, sir. the ODM houses, like they are the ODM houses, they will manufacture these things. They are designing these boxes and other things. Fabless, like Qualcomm, AMD, the TSMC, UMC, STM. Recently, the team from Bangalore and Noida and other the people came. All the CEO of all this company you see over here, they visited Dholera. And anybody who wants to go Dholera, interested to go there, I think they should go and see what is going to happen. That is a 960 or 920 square kilometer. It is 2 or 3 times that of Singapore size. No parcel land is available in the entire Asia at one go. There is whatever I said here, no, the rail port, all these things are available, going to be developed. There is already Tata Solar big plant is in existence. So Dholera is going to be the hub for fab. I think there are a lot of advantages. If you wish, I can forward the slides to you. Don't try to do anything with it. I will just PDF and then send it to you. You can give it to the required people. Global market for electronics is 2.9 trillion. Once again, it is close to our economy. That is the total market size in the world actually. India domestic production of electronics is 2015-16, somebody I think gave numbers, 3.7, 21, 7.4 billion, not 8. 2026, Modi Sahab wants 300 to be there. Size is completely different than this. This is the manufacturing. But instead of 300, where current consumption is $512 billion. We are consuming. Balance is coming from outside. Here. FY16, 145 market size in India of electronics products. We were making 37. 19, 215, we were making 74. 2025, 540, we are going to be 300 billion. Still we are going to import. And our export is growing much faster than any other things, and I think it is going to be number 1 soon as the export of electronics goods from here. And I think assembling mobile, we are doing big bang, but I am, excuse me sir, I am not saying that it's a bad job, but I don't see value at there. You are assembling and then sending, like Symphony, anybody has known the Symphony case? They outsource everything. Just they bring, assemble, stamp Symphony and send it. Somebody can always do that actually. So China was doing, now we are doing it. Tomorrow somebody else will do it, where the labor cost is low. Unless until there is something where you can add value, you will not be relevant. And in the world, in the nation, in the state, in the family, and at your home, if you are not relevant, you are going to be used. That's going to be life. And nobody is exception to that actually. So be relevant. That's the only message I have to give you. I think I will. So much. And some other time we can have some other lecture and we will see that. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening.
So thank you, Mr. Sudhir Nayak. So sir is always need much more time for explaining the things, and he has rightly set the tone for newcomers, why ESDM is required, and now for next two speakers it is easy to deliver on the subject, because as a newcomer like me, I know the IT and I know use that software side moreover, not an hardware side. So this is really a setting the tone that what is ESDM and why semiconductor, and what is the things opportunities we can build in India and Gujarat, and especially in South Gujarat zone, which is today's topic. So thank you sir for your setting up the tone of today's conclave. Now I am moving to the next. Now I invite Shri Vidin Khare for next topic, which is GOG Semiconductor and ITES policy. Vidin Khare ji is mission director of GSEM, and GSEM is aim to build a vibrant ecosystem in Gujarat around electronics and the semiconductor. So rest all this thing will be mentioned by him. Yes, welcome sir.
Good evening everyone. First of all, I would like to thank South Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry for giving me this opportunity to come to Surat. And by the way, this is my first time I am in Surat. So being in Cadar for almost 1 year in Gujarat, but I got this opportunity now. Thank you very much. As South Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I also would like to thank IESF to arrange this event. And Major Sahab, आपको एक I want to mention this thing कि when this idea came to me, हुआ क्या कि साउथ गुजरात सूरत से कुछ एक दो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंडस्ट्री एंटरप्रेन्योर हमारे पास आए. वो अपनी कंपनी ऑलरेडी 2017-18 से रन कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. हमारी जो पिछली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पॉलिसी थी 2016-21 तक आई थी. जब हमने उनसे पूछा कि आप हमारी पुरानी पॉलिसी में कोई इंसेंटिव लिया है कि नहीं, तो उनका आंसर था कि हमें पता ही नहीं कि ये पॉलिसी कब आई, इसमें अप्लाई कैसे करना है, इंसेंटिव क्या थे और हमें उससे क्या फ़ायदा होगा. इट इज़ अ बिगेस्ट शॉकर फॉर अस. वाई? इट्स अ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात पॉलिसी. वो वही पॉलिसी सूरत में लगेगी, वही पॉलिसी अहमदाबाद में लगेगी, वही पॉलिसी वडोदरा में लगेगी, वही पॉलिसी राजकोट, कच्छ, हर जगह लगेगी. पिछली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पॉलिसी के अंतर्गत हमने ऑलमोस्ट 80 से 90 कंपनीज़ को इंसेंटिव दिए हैं. अभी तक 230 करोड़ रुपए उसके अंदर डिसबर्स हुए हैं. लेकिन फिर भी कुछ ऐसी एमएसएमई इंडस्ट्री हैं जो हमें आके जब हमें पता चलता है कि उनको इस पॉलिसी के बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं है. हमने इस हमारी नई जो पॉलिसी है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पॉलिसी 2022-28 28 अक्टूबर 2022 को लॉन्च की गई. उसका सारे जो आपके लोकल और नेशनल लेवल न्यूज़पेपर हैं उसका एडवर्टीज़मेंट भी गया है. उसमें हर एक न्यूज़पेपर में उसका एडवर्टीज़मेंट हुआ है. इसका जो लॉन्च हुआ था हमने ऑनरेबल सीएम सर के साथ इसका लॉन्च करवाया था. बट इसके बावजूद भी अभी बहुत सारी ऐसी कंपनीज़ हैं जो एक्टिवली वर्किंग हैं ESDM सेक्टर में, लेकिन उनको इस पॉलिसी के बेनिफिट्स क्या हैं, गवर्नमेंट का इंसेंटिव क्या है, GSEM एक बनाया गया है एजेंसी, इसके बारे में भी पता नहीं. तो वहाँ से वी रियलाइज दैट वी नीड टू डू दिस एक्टिव वर्क in each region of Gujarat, because each region of Gujarat has their own capabilities, they have their own strengths, and we need to work on that. हमारी पॉलिसी के बिना भी कंपनीज यहाँ चल रही हैं और they are doing well also, but then what is the need for us? Why we are putting up the policy? I want to mention one more incident. We were having this interaction with Japanese companies. My first question was to them was, what make you come to Gujarat? Why are you here? Like, why did you set up that Japanese industrial park in Mandal Becharaji nearby Ahmedabad? And if I want to invite more companies, then what should I do? तो उनका सिंपल आंसर था कि see, we look only for 3 things: customer, cost and talent. You give me these 3 things anywhere in the world, we will go there. आप यही चीज़ उठा के मुझे अहमदाबाद में दे दीजिए, गांधीनगर में दे दीजिए, सूरत में दे दीजिए या थ्रू आउट इंडिया किसी भी कंट्री में दे दो, आई विल गो देयर. कॉस्ट, कस्टमर एंड टैलेंट. सो विद दिस पॉलिसी वी आर ट्राइंग टू एड्रेस सम ऑफ दोज इश्यूज. वी हैव आवर स्ट्रेंथ इन द कंट्री इज द कस्टमर. अब कोई भी इंडस्ट्री उठा के देखिए जिसमें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स यूज़ हो रहा है, there are customer available there, automotive, consumer goods, even in the industries, and across like there are industries like real estate, constructions, jewelry, gems and jewelries. Everywhere there is customer for electronics product. So there is no dearth of customer. Now we need to focus on cost and the talent. And for that we are government of Gujarat put this policy in place कि इन दो जो हमारे फैक्टर्स हैं इनको हम कैसे आपके लिए कंडीसिव बना पाएंगे. अवर ओन लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स के लिए हम गुजरात में इसको कैसे बेस्ट फैक्टर्स बना पाएँ सो दैट वी कैन हैव ए फ्लरिशिंग ESDM सेक्टर्स. आई थिंक सुधीर भाई ने ऑलरेडी हमें काफ़ी डिटेल में बता दिया है ESDM सेक्टर और व्हाट इज द अवेलेबल मार्केट what is our share in global electronics manufacturing, where is the gap. And our Honorable Prime Minister sir has given us a target. We have taken on ourselves that $300 billion manufacturing of electronics in the country by 2026. अगर आप कोई भी मार्केट देखें ESDM के लिए स्पेसिफिकली, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट सेमीकंडक्टर्स, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट पोस्ट सेमीकंडक्टर विच इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, मोबाइल फोन्स, IT हार्डवेयर, कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. It gives me, at the same time it gives me pride and it gives me little shock also that in Gujarat we have one of the largest consumer electronics manufacturing. आप वोल्टास को देखिए, अहमदाबाद के पास साड़न में वोल्टास इज मेकिंग air conditioner, and they are going to make also washing machine and refrigerators from the same plant. Apart from that, there are consumer electronics in different part of Gujarat. Vadodara is one of the key place. Surat is also one of the key place. But why they are not growing as such they should go, right? Strategic electronics, जिसमें आपका defense होता है, avionics होता है. Industrial electronics. This is the one thing I was specifically looking in Surat. There was this semiconductor company, उनका इन्वेस्टर हमारे पास आया. उनका कहना है कि सर अभी भी बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टेप्स हैं सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री में जिसके लिए हमें ऑटोमोटिव इंजीनियरिंग चाहिए है. वी नीड दिस ऑटोमेशन. अभी भी बहुत सारा काम बाय हैंड हो रहा है. या अगर आप इवन मोबाइल असेंबली देखें, फॉक्सकॉन का प्लांट जो चेन्नई में लगा हुआ है, विच इज़ मेकिंग ऑलमोस्ट 20 मिलियन फ़ोन्स, 2 करोड़ आईफोन जो वो चेन्नई में बना रहे हैं, उनके पास आपको पता है कितना एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं? 50,000 एम्प्लॉयज़. क्यों? क्योंकि असेंबली में ऑलमोस्ट हर एक पार्ट बाय हैंड यू हैव टू पुट. जो स्क्रीन आप देखते हैं फ़ोन में, दे हैव टू पुट इट बाय हैंड, क्योंकि इसका ऑटोमेशन करना अभी बहुत मुश्किल है. बहुत सारे ऐसे स्मॉल पार्ट्स होते हैं, जैसे आपका फ़ोन का माइक हुआ, स्पीकर हुआ, दे कैन नॉट बी पुट बाय एनी ऑटोमेशन एट प्रेजेंट. For that they need 50,000 workers. They are working in a shift of 8 hour, 3 shift, continuous 24-hour production. अगर आप इसको ऑटोमेट कर दें तो आपका जो मैन पावर रिक्वायरमेंट है डेफिनेटली वो कम हो जाएगा. लेकिन इसमें जो ऑटोमोटिव इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं जो आपके ऑटोमेशन कर सकते हैं, जिसको हम इंडस्ट्रियल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स बोलते हैं, उनके लिए ह्यूज अपॉर्चुनिटी है. सो उनको हमने बताया कि इन गुजरात सूरत इज़ फेमस फॉर इंजीनियरिंग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, इंडस्ट्रियल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. यहाँ पे जो जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी वाली इंडस्ट्री है, दे हैव ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड मूविंग टूवर्ड ऑटोमेशन. जो कोर्स वर्क होता है, जो बेसिकली जो कोर्स कटिंग होती है, उसके लिए बहुत सारे ऑटोमेटिव इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आने लगे हैं. वो लोकलाइज कस्टम मेड होते हैं, किसको कौन सा इक्विपमेंट चाहिए, किस प्रिसीजन का चाहिए, दैट इज़ लोकल. सो नाउ दे हैव प्रपोज कि सर आप हमें ऐसी कुछ कंपनीज बताइए उनके साथ हम अपनी सेमीकंडक्टर असेंबली के लिए ऑटोमेशन डेवलप करना चाहते हैं. वी विल वर्क विद देम, वी विल गिव देम आवर प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट कि हमें ऐसा ऑटोमोटिव इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स चाहिए हैं. देन दे विल वर्क ऑन इट. वी यूज दिस लोकल कैपेसिटी. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द एरिया विच वी नीड टू लुक एक्टिवली. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, ऑटो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड द मेजर चैलेंज इज PCB, प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड असेंबली. ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड, आपका कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, कोई भी इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इक्विपमेंट होगा उसमें जाएगा ही जाएगा. आपका CCTV से लेके कार, टॉयज, एवरीथिंग, वट एवर यू थिंक, देयर इज अ PCB. एंड दिस इज द मेजर एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएटर. आपकी एक SMT असेंबली जिसका इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है 50 लाख से 60 लाख रुपये, बट उसमें आपको कम से कम 20 से 25 ऐसे लोग चाहिए होंगे जो आपकी वो माउंटिंग लाइन पे काम करेंगे. उनका क्वालिफिकेशन क्या रहेगा? 10th पास, 12th पास, बट ITI ग्रेजुएट्स, डिप्लोमा ग्रेजुएट्स. दिस इज अ मेजर एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएटर. सो इस पॉलिसी में वेयर एक टाइप पे अगर हम इंडस्ट्री की तरफ देख रहे हैं, दैट वी हैव टू लेट देम ग्रो, वी हैव टू क्रिएट अ गुड ESDM सेक्टर, एट द सेम टाइम वी हैव टू क्रिएट जॉब्स. वी हैव टू फोकस वेयर, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अ सेमीकंडक्टर फर्म, व्हेन दे पुट अ इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ $7 billion, they will be able to create 3,000 jobs. So अगर आप वहाँ रेशियो देखें कि $7 billion डालने के बाद, और उसमें भी हम जब गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से सब्सिडी देंगे, हमारे पास एक 3 to 4,000 jobs will come. बट एक PCB असेंबली, if they put just $100 million, they can create more than 10 to 20,000 jobs. So that is the balance which we are trying to do. हमें वो भी बैलेंस करके चलना है कि हम हमेशा यही नहीं देखते रहेंगे कि नहीं, हम अगर 1000 करोड़ से नीचे का कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं होगा तो मैं उसको ध्यान ही नहीं दूंगा, ऐसा नहीं है. इवन somebody is coming with a investment of even 2 crores or 5 crores, my objective is how much employment he can create, how much value he can create. So that's why I'm actively focusing on printed circuit board assembly. So whenever somebody comes, we just ask this also कि आपका printed circuit board कहाँ बन रहा है. For example, this same voltage people when they come for some discussion, मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन यही था कि आपके एजी में जो प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड है वो कहाँ से आ रहा है. दे टोल्ड सर वो हम टर्की से इम्पोर्ट करते हैं. द क्वेश्चन इज वाई. आप तो यहाँ पे ही बना सकते हैं. हमारे पास कम से कम ना मानिए तो गुजरात में कम से कम 100 से ऊपर प्रिंटेड सर्किट बोर्ड बनाने वाले होंगे. आप यहाँ पे भी बना सकते हैं. देन जैसे कि सर वो थोड़ा क्वालिटी का इश्यू है. जो हमारा बैको है, उनका जो पार्टनर बैको इज़ ए टर्किश कंपनी, कि सर वो बोलते हैं कि हम इस क्वालिटी के पीसीबी ही लगाएंगे अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स में. तो ठीक है, यहाँ पे क्वालिटी सर्टिफिकेशन कीजिए. So that kind of work we need to bring, and we need to specifically focus on these parts. Then comes telecom. So I don't know, many of you know, but पिछले साल गुजरात is the first state जिसने हर एक रूरल एरिया में every village, every पंचायत of Gujarat has been connected with broadband connection under BharatNet project. Gujarat is the leading state into it. Now this year budget government had decided that जो हमारा GFGNL है, गुजरात फाइबर नेटवर्क, they will start giving broadband connection in rural areas. तो अभी तक क्या होता था कि जो भारतनेट प्रोजेक्ट में कि आप पंचायत तक ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्शन दे देंगे, पंचायत आपकी ब्रॉडबैंड की कनेक्टिविटी आ जाएगी. लेकिन अब हम उस ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्शन से इंडिविजुअल हाउस होल्ड में कनेक्शंस देंगे. तो आप खुद सोचिए कि अगर एक पंचायत में 50 हाउस होल्ड भी ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्शन लेते हैं, उस 50 में से 10 कंज्यूमर ऐसे होंगे जो आपका स्मार्ट टीवी, वाईफाई राउटर्स और लैपटॉप और सच काइंड ऑफ डिवाइस विच स्पेसिफिकली वर्क्स ऑन ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्शन. तो आपका जो अलग अलग मार्केट खुल के आएगा टेलीकॉम इक्विपमेंट्स के लिए, स्मार्ट टीवी के लिए, लैपटॉप्स के लिए, वाईफाई राउटर्स के लिए, तो ये लाइक यू आर नॉट getting that market anywhere in the country. So that rural market is also now opening for electronics. अभी तक ये माना जाता था कि जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्रोडक्ट होते हैं वो अधिकतर अर्बन एरिया में यूज़ होते हैं. आप वो जो मैंने अभी बताया स्मार्ट टीवी, राउटर्स, ये अधिकतर अर्बन एरिया फिनोमेना थे. बट एक बार जब ये रूरल में प्राइवेट ब्रॉडबैंड कनेक्शन जाएंगे तब ये सारे प्रोडक्ट आपको रूरल एरियाज में भी चाहिए पड़ेंगे. तो जो मार्केट है गुजरात का, दैट इज़ गोइंग टू बी डबल एंड ट्रिपल इन दिस वे. So keeping all this thing in mind, Gujarat government has launched Gujarat electronic policy. It came in October. Key objectives as हमारे जो PM सर का विजन है $300 billion मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का, उसको हमने लिया कि हमें minimum 10% we want to do for it. So we have kept our target for $30 billion electronics manufacturing by the end of this policy period, which is 28. PM sir has given vision that 1 crore people should be employed in electronics manufacturing sector in the country, and we have kept the target at 10 lakh people. We have to create these 10 lakh jobs. They will be in what do you say, that highly skilled engineers, ITI graduates, diploma graduates. All together we need to create these 10 lakh jobs in our electronic sector. उसके बाद गुजरात शुड बी ए हब फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. हमने व्हेन वी गो थ्रू द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज इन गुजरात, हमने देखा है कि एट वन टाइम गुजरात वाज द लीडर इन टेक्सटाइल, which is it is still leader. Then we moved to petrochemicals, then we moved to chemicals. We are leader in both of that. In 2008-9 we have fixated on automobile. आज जो सुजुकी का प्लांट है मंडल बेचराजी में, दैट इज प्रोड्यूसिंग 8 लाख कार्स पर एनम, जो हाईएस्ट है उनका कहीं पे भी. देयर बिगेस्ट फैसिलिटी वाज इन मनेसर, बट मनेसर से जब उन्होंने यहाँ शिफ्ट किया, विद इन 4 and 5 years they have become the biggest manufacturer plant for Suzuki. Now सुजुकी का EV भी यहीं से ही आएगा. तो वी आर लीडर इन ऑटोमोबाइल. टाटा मोटर्स, सानन, फेमस सानन प्लांट, most probably their first fully this electric vehicle most probably will come from Gujarat only. So we are leader in automobile. Now our vision is toward electronic sector, electronic manufacturing, and that is our target कि हमें by the end of this policy we want to become the leader in electronics manufacturing. So coming the main point, this is the thing which we have put in our policy. What are the physical support we are providing? So as I mentioned कि customer तो हमारे पास हैं, we can supply the electronics component to the different customer. Now what about the cost? So to reduce the cost, to make the production affordable, government has came up with these fiscal support. First one is capital assistance. हमें पता है कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंडस्ट्री काफ़ी कैपिटल इंटेंसिव इंडस्ट्री है. वेदर यू टेक इक्विपमेंट्स, वेदर यू टेक द रॉ मटेरियल्स, वेदर यू टेक द फैसिलिटीज, it always cost much more than any other traditional industry. For that we have put capital assistance. So anything below 1000 crores, there is a straight up 25% capital assistance with a ceiling of 200 crores. So that comes out 20%. Above 1000 crore, incremental 15%. So you will have 200 crore plus 15% of whatever extra above 1000 crore. And in this policy, अगर आप हमारी पिछली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पॉलिसी देखें तो देयर वाज अ कैप ऑफ 10 करोड़. In this policy we have removed that cap. So there is no upper ceiling. Why? Because हमने पहले भी ऐसा देखा है कि काफ़ी कंपनीज दे कम अप विद बिग प्लान व्हेन दे सी द अपॉर्चुनिटी. फॉर एग्जांपल आपका जब ऑटोमोटिव इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हुआ या फिर आगे चल के मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हुआ, तो दे कीप ऑन कमिंग विद सम बिग एंड बिगर इन्वेस्टमेंट. So there we realized that we have to remove the cap. Stamp duty and registration fee reimbursement. It's 100% reimbursement on stamp duty and registration fee for the land. Interest assistance. This is also one of the key incentives. It is common across all the policy, but इसमें है कि हम आपका 7% interest on term loan be given by the government. तो अगर आप for example अगर आपने 10% interest पे टर्म लोन लिया है तो उस 10% का 7% गवर्नमेंट विल reimburse you. So your effective interest rate will be only 3%, and that has been one of the key factor, one of the key incentive for all of the industries जो अभी हमारे पिछली पॉलिसी में भी इंसेंटिव ले रहे हैं और आगे चल के भी आ रहे हैं. एक जो नया कॉन्सेप्ट हम इसमें लेके आए वो था लॉजिस्टिक सब्सिडी का. अब जैसे ऐसा हो क्या रहा है कि अगर कोई भी आप इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी से बात करें तो उनका कोई ना कोई ऐसा इक्विपमेंट है जो अभी भी बाहर से इंपोर्ट होके आ रहा है. ऑल्दो वी वांट टू गो फॉर मेक इन इंडिया, बट हमें ये भी पता है कि इट कैन नॉट हैपन विद इन 1 or 2 days, राइट. अगर आप कोई भी इक्विपमेंट देखें, मोल्डिंग इक्विपमेंट्स देखें या फिर किसी भी के कोई प्रिंटिंग इक्विपमेंट्स देखें, तो वो इक्विपमेंट आपको इंडियन बाहर से ही लाने पड़ेंगे क्योंकि अभी हमारे पास उसकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटी आई नहीं है. तो उसके लिए वी केप्ट दिस लॉजिस्टिक सब्सिडी. सो वी आर पेइंग 25% freight charges, international freight charges on import of these capital equipments, only with a cap of 5 crore per annum. So basically हम उसको इतना ज़्यादा भी नहीं रखना चाहते थे कि कल के दिन आप ये बोलने लें कि हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यहाँ करेंगे ही नहीं, हम सब इम्पोर्ट ही करेंगे. एंड वी डोंट वांट टू कीप इट सो लो कि आप फिर उस पर ये चले जाओगे सर वही हमारा एक सबसे बड़ा कंपोनेंट हो गया है इम्पोर्ट का. सो वी डिड सम कैलकुलेशंस कि अगर आपको फार्देस्ट पोर्ट, तो अगर आप हमारा फॉर एग्जांपल गुजरात में आप अज्यूम करें कि आप कुछ कच्छ में या मुंद्रा पोर्ट या फिर कांडला पोर्ट पे कुछ इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो आपके लिए जो फार्देस्ट पोर्ट बसता है वो होता है बुसान इन साउथ कोरिया. जो अधिकतर वहाँ से आप कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मशीनरी या ये सब इक्विपमेंट इंपोर्ट करते हैं. तो हमने उससे कैलकुलेशन किया कि अगर वहाँ से इतना अगर आप ला रहे हैं इंपोर्ट करके, तो उसमें आपको इंटरनेशनल फ्रेट चार्जेस कितने पड़ेंगे और उसका हम कितना % दें कि इट बिकम रीजनेबल well for or reasonably affordable for the industry. So we came up with this number of 25% with a cap of 5 crore per annum. Then I think all of you know that electronics manufacturing is very power intensive, power guzzling industry. आप कोई भी लाइन लगा लिए, SMT, एक स्मॉल SMT लाइन लगाएंगे उसमें भी आपको अच्छा खासा पावर कंज्यूम होता है. एंड द बिगर कंपनीज विच कम, दे आर कंज्यूमिंग as much as 160 megawatt power, which is itself is a huge. So for that we have kept this power tariff subsidy 1 rupees per unit, and for 5 years, and then there is exemption from paying electricity duty. पिछली पॉलिसी तक हम क्या करते थे कि जो कंपनीज अपना शुरू करती थी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, वो इलेक्ट्रिक कनेक्शन लेती हैं, उसके बाद इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूटी भी पे करती थी, एंड वी यूज टू रीएम्बर्स इट. तो आप जो अपना बिल हमें जब सबमिट करते थे उसमें जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूटी होती थी हम उसको रीएम्बर्स करते थे. इन दिस पॉलिसी व्हाट वी हैव डन दैट अगर आप न्यू यूनिट लगा रहे हैं देन एट फर्स्ट प्लेस ओनली यू विल अप्लाई फॉर एग्जेम्पशन. तो वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूटी आपके बिल में आएगी ही नहीं, ओनली पावर टैरिफ विल कम देयर, एंड उस पर हम आपको 1 रुपये सब्सिडी प्रोवाइड करेंगे. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द की एस्पेक्ट फॉर द पॉलिसी, स्पेशली फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सेक्टर. एंड ऑल्सो द रिएम्बर्समेंट ऑफ EPF. So statutory 100% employer statutory contribution for EPF for female employees and 75% for male employee is also being reimbursed. So these are the overall fiscal incentives which are provided in the policy. और अगर आप इसको हमारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो हमारे गुजरात में अवेलेबल है उसके साथ कंबाइन कर दें तो no other state can meet these kind of incentives. Thing is, some states can say that हम आपको कैपिटल सब्सिडी 30% दे देंगे, ठीक है, लेकिन आप पावर भी तो होना चाहिए, दैट रेगुलर पावर भी तो चाहिए हमें. गुजरात की जितनी भी डिस्कॉम्स हैं अभी भी आई थिंक पिछले महीने ही जो हमारा UGVCL है उत्तर गुजरात डिस्कॉम, इट हैज़ बीन गिवन एज नंबर 1 डिस्कॉम इन द कंट्री, ऑल प्राइवेट एंड गवर्नमेंट डिस्कॉम कंबाइंड. हमारे जो 5 डिस्कॉम्स हैं गुजरात के, 4 डिस्कॉम्स एंड ऑल्सो टॉरेंट पावर, दे कम इन टू टॉप 10 ऑफ पावर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनी इन द कंट्री. हमने जब एक सर्वे किया यहाँ पे साणंद GIDC स्टेट में कि आप व्हाट इज़ द पावर क्वालिटी, तो बहुत सारी फर्म्स का कहना है कि सर पिछले 2 या 2.5 साल में हमारे पास एक भी दिन पावर कट नहीं हुआ है. एंड आई थिंक सेम थिंग इज़ फॉर आवर DGVCL इन गुजरात, इन सूरत एरिया. सो दैट इज़ द क्वालिटी ऑफ पावर. तो जो इंडस्ट्री आती है ना, दे आर हैप्पी विद दिस 20%, बट वॉट दे नीड कि हमें वो पावर जो है दैट शुड बी हाई क्वालिटी एंड विदाउट एनी ब्रेक. भले आप वो बोले कि ये आप सर इसको 15% कर दो, आई एम हैप्पी विद इट, लेकिन जो हमें पावर क्वालिटी मिलनी चाहिए ना वो ऐसे होनी चाहिए. सेम थिंग इज़ विद लैंड. आप अगर GIDC में कहीं पे भी लैंड लेने जाएं इन गुजरात, GIDC गिव यू द क्लियर टाइटल ऑफ दैट लैंड, दैट लीज विल बी विदाउट एनी इनकम्बरेंस, whether it's Dholera or any other GIDC. हमने अभी जब सेमीकंडक्टर प्लांट का when we did the land allotment, we could do it in 15 days without any encumbrance. साणंद में भी हमने जो 1-2 इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ उनको जब GIDC ने लैंड अलॉट किया, they are giving that 100 acres, 200 or even 300-400 acres land without a single encumbrance. There are some global companies जो इतना ड्यू डिलिजेंस करते हैं, you won't believe. मुझे तहसीलदार के ऑफिस से जो लैंड एक्विजिशन के रिकॉर्ड्स थे वो तक उनको दिखाने पड़े. दे वर डूइंग दैट मच ड्यू डिलिजेंस कि सर आगे चल के कोई क्लेम करने ना आ जाए कि सर वो 1 एकड़ जो था ना वो तो मेरा था, तो फिर उसके लिए हम कोर्ट बैटल लड़ेंगे. बट इन गुजरात when GIDC and Dholera or any other government agency, when they are providing land, they are providing encumbrance free. कि आप आज आपका जो लीज साइन हुआ है, कल के दिन आप आगे यहाँ से अपना कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड प्रोडक्शन शुरू कर सकते हो. बट दैट काइंड ऑफ फैसिलिटी मे नॉट बी अवेलेबल इन अदर प्लेस. सो जब आप इन सब इंसेंटिव को हमारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ कंबाइन कर देते हैं, देन इट बिकम अ गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी. पीपल आर रियली लुकिंग फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. Global companies or even the national level electronics companies looking from that point of view. इसके बाद जो मेन थिंग विच इज गोइंग टू बी द की फैक्टर कि हम कितना ग्रो कर पाते हैं अपनी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंडस्ट्री को, इज स्किल डेवलपमेंट. आप जानते हैं कि हमें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए वी नीड वर्कर्स हु आर वर्किंग ऑन द फ्लोर. So those are like ITI or school dropout workers. Then we need highly skilled engineers जो आपके कॉलेज फ्रेश पास आउट हो. Then we need those person जो आपका रिसर्च करके प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट भी कर सकें. So we need these trained people in all across in this pyramid. तो उसके लिए we are coming up with this concept called गुजरात इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेनिंग सेल्स. आप में से भी बहुत सारे लोग इंजीनियर होंगे. We have taken a degree but I believe that 80 to 90% of engineering graduate, do not get a chance to have an internship, industrial internship. Somehow they get a certificate, कहीं से भी वो आ जाता है, वो हम कॉलेज में सबमिट कर देते हैं, हमें उसके 2 या 4 क्रेडिट मिल जाते हैं, we get our degree. So what with this electronic training cells, what we are trying to do, we will select some colleges who have some good infrastructure. We will put a training cell जो आपको पूरा इंडस्ट्री इन्वायरमेंट के अंदर एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करेगा. दे विल हैव स्पेसिफिक इक्विपमेंट्स. कॉलेज कैन सेलेक्ट कि वी विल डू VLSI ट्रेनिंग, वी विल डू माइक्रो कंट्रोलर्स ट्रेनिंग, we will do trainings on some other designing devices, and it will be a proper industry kind of environment. It will not be a research part, it will be an industry part. What skills you need in industry? See, you won't believe, when we were having some stakeholder discussion on what are the skills required, कुछ इंडस्ट्री वालों ने हमें सर ये भी बताया कि सर आप जो ट्रेनी है वो पूरी ट्रेनिंग करके मेरे पास आया, बट जब मैंने उसको ये बोला कि भाई what are the unit for measurement, how to use vernier caliper, they don't know how to do that. So वो जो gap है कि what are the skills required in an industry and what we are doing currently, we have to bridge it. We have to bridge it through these kind of training cells. कि एक्चुअल में आपको इंडस्ट्री में ये सारे these skills are required. How to do a maintenance of an equipment, वो सारी चीज़ें आपको एक जो हमारा ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर्स हैं उसको ये सारी चीज़ें पता होनी चाहिए. सो फॉर दैट वी आर पुटिंग दिस इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेनिंग सेल्स. वी आर कमिंग अप विद कंसेप्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ITI. सो दीज ITIs विल बी फोकसिंग स्पेसिफिकली ऑन स्किल्स रिक्वायर्ड इन एन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कंपनी. अभी भी बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्री ऐसे हैं जो एक अपना ही ट्रेनिंग सेंटर चलाते हैं. तो गुजरात गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और गुजरात गवर्नमेंट की एक स्कीम है कॉल्ड संकल्प. उसमें अगर इंडस्ट्री अपने ही अंदर अपनी प्रमाइसेस में ट्रेनिंग देती है तो पर आवर दे आर पेड फॉर समथिंग 50 रुपीज़ पर ट्रेनिंग. तो ओवरऑल एक ट्रेनिंग के ऊपर 3 महीने की ट्रेनिंग के लिए लगभग 17 से 18,000 रुपये का इंसेंटिव गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करती है. तो उसमें बेसिकली जो आपका ट्रेनिंग कॉस्ट है वो निकल के आ जाता है उसमें. तो इस टाइप का अभी इंडस्ट्री कर रही है. नाउ वी वॉन्ट टू डू इट ऑन बिगर स्केल, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री को अगर 100 लोग चाहिए तो वो 120 लोगों को ट्रेन करेगी. उसको पता है कि 20 उसमें से पास नहीं कर पाएंगे, 100 जो ट्रेन कर लेंगे वो मैं अपने यहाँ एम्प्लॉयमेंट दे देंगे. बट देर आर स्मॉल कंपनीज हु कैन नॉट डू दिस काइंड ऑफ ट्रेनिंग. सो फॉर देम वी हैव टू डू दिस स्किल ट्रेनिंग ऑन अ मासिव स्केल. क्योंकि जो आगे भी जो आगे आपके इन्वेस्टर्स आ रहे हैं, दैट कंसर्न इज दैट कि सर इफ आई सेट अप अ यूनिट in nearby Ahmedabad or nearby Vadodara or somewhere in Surat, will I be able to get 3,000 trained people? अब हमें उसकी क्या गारंटी दे रहे हैं? So that kind of infrastructure we need to show them, and we need to start these kind of infrastructure. तो यहाँ पे भी जो हमारे industry leaders are sitting here, they also need to look this electronic sector from this point of view. कि how can we help government in establishing these kind of training centers? So currently in professional training we have premier institutes, then we have which is producing almost 33,000 engineers. We have 133 diploma courses, 7 universities and institute like IIT Gandhinagar, NIT Surat, IIT Vadodara, IIT Surat. So all these, so we are trying to combine, trying to collaborate with these premier institutes, our existing educational network, and have some kind of collaboration with other institute of national repute or international repute, and then create that kind of skill environment in the state. कि आगे चल के कोई भी कंपनी है, चाहे वो they are as big as producer like Apple or Foxconn, they can be assured कि आपको जो भी एम्प्लॉयमेंट चाहिए होगा, एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्किल चाहिए होगी, you will find in गुजरात. आपको कहीं बाहर जाके देखना नहीं होगा उसको. वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग में भी हमारे गुजरात में लगभग 600 इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट है, गवर्नमेंट प्लस प्राइवेट मिला के. एंड आवर स्टेट इज ट्रेनिंग ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 लाख ट्रेंड ITI प्रोफेशनल. ये बहुत सारी स्ट्रीम्स में है. देयर कैन बी मैकेनिकल, कैन बी इलेक्ट्रिकल कोर्सेज इन लाइक प्लम्बिंग और इलेक्ट्रिकल हैंडलिंग, बट वी वांट टू कम आउट स्पेसिफिकली फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स. तो इसका भी हमारा जो DST डिपार्टमेंट है, वी आर ऑलरेडी वर्किंग विद डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड ट्रेनिंग ट्राइंग टू आइडेंटिफाई कि किस ITI में हमें इनिशियली ये अपने कोर्सेज शुरू करने हैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स को लेके। हमारा कुछ ऐसा प्लान है कि वी विल टारगेट कहाँ पर मेजर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्लस्टर्स हैं, कहाँ पे मेजर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्लस्टर्स बन सकते हैं, कहाँ पे डिमांड कैसी आने वाली है, उस हिसाब से वी कैन स्टार्ट विद 50 और 100 ITIs। विल प्रोवाइड देम द इक्विपमेंट्स। कहीं पे भी हम एक SMT लाइन्स भी शुरू कर सकते हैं जहाँ पे आपको इनिशियली इन 3 months और 6 months और 1 year कोर्स में वी कैन हैव दीज ट्रेन्ड प्रोफेशनल फॉर इंडस्ट्री। At the same time, government has started this Gujarat State Electronic Mission. So, and I am as MD of this mission. See, my objective is कि अब जब कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सेक्टर में इन्वेस्टमेंट करने आ रहा है, if you want to be a part of the policy, you don't need to run around different department. आपको किसी भी ऐसे नहीं है कि एक डिपार्टमेंट से वो चाहिए, ये पॉलिसी में मेरा प्रोडक्ट इंक्लूड होगा नहीं होगा, यहाँ पॉलिसी में हाउ टू अप्लाई टू इट, मेरे डिसबर्सल्स कैसे आएंगे। सो फॉर ऑल दिस गुजरात स्टेट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मिशन हैज़ बीन सेट अप फॉर इन्वेस्टर्स। अब जैसे आप तो लोकल गुजरात से हैं, सो यू नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट द लोकल कंडीशंस हेयर। आपको ये भी पता है कि आपको अपनी यूनिट कहाँ लगानी है, हाउ टू गेट एम्प्लॉयर्स फॉर दैट, हाउ टू गेट एम्प्लॉयज़ फॉर दैट, यू नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स। बट जो जैसे हमारे कुछ इन्वेस्टर्स बाहर से आते हैं, लिटरली दे डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट इट। उन्होंने छोटी से छोटी एप्लीकेशन के लिए भी वो हमसे पूछते हैं कि हाउ टू डू इट। देयर आर सम इन्वेस्टर इन दिस इंडस्ट्री, फर्स्ट टाइम दे आर कमिंग टू इंडिया। सो फॉर देम स्पेसिफिकली दिस स्टेट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मिशन, माई मोटो इज कि यू जस्ट कम टू माई ऑफिस एंड सिट, रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्क आई विल डू। जितने भी डिपार्टमेंट में घूमना है, सो फॉर सेटिंग अप इंडस्ट्री यू विल रिक्वायर सम 20 to 25 डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ अप्रूवल्स, परमिशंस, राइट। फैक्ट्री का परमिशन हुआ, GPCB का परमिशन हुआ, फिर जो बाहर से इन्वेस्टर आता है कहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करें, विच साइट विल बी आइडियल, हमारा लॉजिस्टिक्स कैसा होगा, कहाँ पे हम अच्छे से इंपोर्ट कर पाएंगे। सो ऑल दिस थिंग इज बीइंग डन बाय माय टीम। वी डू ऑल द बैकग्राउंड वर्क, वी डू ऑल द रनिंग बिटवीन डिपार्टमेंट, दिस डिपार्टमेंट, दैट डिपार्टमेंट, आपका प्रोडक्ट होगा नहीं होगा, दैट ऑल द थिंग इज डन बाय दिस डिपार्टमेंट। सो GSEM is being made for hand holding all these companies, whatever the investor is। आपका MSME है, लार्ज स्केल है, मेगा प्रोजेक्ट है, एवरीथिंग। सो whenever somebody comes that they are working and they are trying to grow, कि सर मैं next we want to increase our turnover, we want to double our turnover, we want to invest in this new technology, so that's what we come into picture, we help them out। अभी भी जैसे कुछ few people come to us, we took them, if you want to do it in Surat itself, if you want to grow your base also, कि हम सर सूरत में तो हमारी अच्छी खासी फैसिलिटी है, now we are targeting गांधीनगर also, said welcome, come, we will take you to different places, possible sites, or somebody is in Vadodara, you want to come to Surat, so I will talk to my, through different department here, that what can be the possible location, where can I send them, where can they look for the sites, where can they get the right person to talk to. So these are all the things we are doing, apart from administrative, what do you say, that approval of the incentives, dispersal of the incentives. I think we don't need to tell much about the infrastructure available in Gujarat, but this is one thing we like to focus. So Dhalara is the what do you call this, proposed semicon city, where we are looking for Vedanta Foxconn Semiconductor fab project, Vedanta display project. So I think all the geography is being known to you. Just few data points. It's like 920 square kilometer area, जिसमें से 422 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर डेवलपेबल एरिया है, बाकी का एरिया जो है वो CRZ एरिया है, तो ईयरमार्क्ड है आपके सोलर पावर प्लांट के लिए। उसके बाद 110 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर इज द इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया। सो बेसिकली इन दिस 422 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर आपका इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया है, रेजिडेंशियल एरिया है, देन देयर इज कमर्शियल एंड सेमी कमर्शियल एरियाज। All these facilities are being developed. International airport, Ahmedabad, Dholera, 4-lane, actually it's a 6-lane connectivity which is already in construction. और जो अगले वर्ष जनवरी 2024 तक there will be direct connectivity Ahmedabad to Dholera 6-lane highway. Then solar park, Bhimnath Dholera, freight line connecting. So the concept is and it's further get emphasized from central government and also from Gujarat government कि जब semiconductor fab जो लगती है, there is almost 200 to 300 companies which are required upstream and downstream. जैसे आपके जो स्पेशलिटी केमिकल हुए, स्पेशलिटी गैसेज हुए, बल्क गैसेज हुए, इसके अलावा आपके इक्विपमेंट्स हुए. सो देर आर रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट 200 to 300 सच कंपनीज. दे आर इन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड ऑल्सो सम इन नॉन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डोमेन. एंड दिस इकोसिस्टम कैन नॉट बी सेटअप एट डिफरेंट प्लेसेस. अगर आपने एक धोलारा में बना दिया तो यही कंपनी जाके दूसरा बेंगलोर में नहीं बनाएंगी, यही कंपनी जाके तीसरा हैदराबाद में नहीं बनाएंगी, बिकॉज द कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व इज ह्यूज. सो वी हैव गॉट दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी, वी हैव टेकन दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी कि एक बार आपका जब ये इकोसिस्टम बनता है, देन आफ्टर एस्टेब्लिशिंग ऑफ दिस इकोसिस्टम, अगर नेक्स्ट फाइव इंडिया में आता है, डेफिनेटली इट विल कम टू धोलारा, बिकॉज उनके लिए सारा इकोसिस्टम वहाँ अवेलेबल होगा, सारा रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल होगा, सारे इक्विपमेंट्स अवेलेबल होंगे. इक्विपमेंट से भी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी होता है सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री में सर्विसिंग ऑफ द इक्विपमेंट्स. आप इक्विपमेंट तो एक आपने $10 मिलियन और $15 मिलियन का इक्विपमेंट ले लिया, लेकिन अगर वो इक्विपमेंट की रेगुलर अपकीप नहीं हो रहा है, उसका आप अगर फॉल्ट रिमूवल टाइम से नहीं कर रहे हैं, देन द होल प्रोडक्शन स्टॉप्स. और एक वेफर को फ्रॉम बेयर वेफर टू फाइनल प्रिंटेड वेफर इट टेक्स 30 days. तो अगर आपका एक दिन का भी प्रोडक्शन रुकता है, तो टेक्निकली यू आर सेट बैक बाई 30 days. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जब हम इसका डिस्कशन कर रहे थे यहाँ पे, सो they asked us कि what are the environment parameters, what are the air quality parameters here, because clean room यूज़ होगा तो clean room में हमें एक certain air quality चाहिए होगी, उसको हम further filter करेंगे. So we gave that average parameter. धोलारा में average air quality parameters क्या है. Then the question comes, सर average तो ठीक है, what is the peak? कि अगर आपके 1 से 30 तारीख तक ये एवरेज है, लेकिन 15वीं तारीख को अगर आपका ये पीक हाई हो गया, तो यानी कि 15 तारीख को जो भी मेरा प्रोडक्शन हुआ है वो सारा का सारा वेस्ट है. सो अगेन आई हैव टू स्टार्ट द होल प्रोसेस. तो बेसिकली हमारा पूरा 30 दिन का नुकसान होगा. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ इकोसिस्टम कैन नॉट बी सेट अप ईच एंड एवरी प्लेस. दैट्स व्हाई इन धोलारा व्हेन इट्स गेटिंग एस्टैब्लिश्ड, आफ्टर दैट दिस इज गोइंग टू बी हब फॉर होल सेमीकंडक्टर फैब इकोसिस्टम इन द कंट्री. So these are the current some industries which are currently we are engaging, and they are looking. Some of them are looking in Dholara, some of them are looking in Gujarat in whole. For example, Dixon, we are having some talks with them. Dixon is I think India's first mobile assembly company. They are located in Delhi. Vedanta Foxconn आपको पता ही है. Then this TOK is Japanese company which supplies specific equipments and chemicals to semiconductor fab. एयर लिक्विड ये भी एक स्पेसिफिक कंपनी है जो हाई क्वालिटी नाइट्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन बना के देती है. आइनॉक्स के बारे में आपको पता ही होगा. इनोलक्स दे मेक सबस्ट्रेट फॉर डिस्प्ले, जो आपका एलईडी और एलसीडी आता है उसके लिए ये स्पेसिफिक सबस्ट्रेट बनाते हैं. जीआईडीसी के बारे में आई थिंक बताने की ज़रूरत है नहीं, ऑलमोस्ट एवरीबडी विल बी फेमिलियर विद हिम. कभी ना कभी आपने भी उनके साथ डील किया ही होगा, उनके बारे में पढ़ा ही होगा. बट जस्ट फ्यू numbers about them is they are having 224 estates in Gujarat, managing almost 46,000 hectare of land. Some of them are totally saturated, but they are coming up with new estates also, product specific, industry specific estates also. जैसे मेडटेक पार्क हुआ, या फिर गांधीनगर का जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स जीआईडीसी बना है. आई थिंक सूरत में भी उसके जीआईडीसी कुछ सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक estates हैं. And the beauty of GIDC is the infrastructure and the time they take to provide that infrastructure. मतलब आप you won't believe in some place when they ask कि सर हमें 220 kV लाइन चाहिए है, 3 lines for a power consumption of 160 MVA, is like almost close to 150 megawatt. अगर आप किसी और जगह जाएंगे तो इट विल से कि सर हमें उसके लिए सबस्टेशन बनाना होगा, सबस्टेशन में बस लगानी पड़ेगी, बस के बाद लाइन डालनी पड़ेगी, फिर केबल ऑर्डर करना पड़ेगा. इट विल टेक एटलीस्ट 3 years. इन जीआईडीसी जैसे कि सर सारे अप्रूवल्स हैं. द मोमेंट यू गेट योर अलॉटमेंट लेटर, आपके पास सारे अप्रूवल्स हैं, आप लाइन डालो, जहाँ से डालना है डालो. चैट को कम सेंस है कि सर हम आपको 1 साल के अंदर वी कैन गिव दिस ऑल फैसिलिटी. 220 kV lines from सब स्टेशन टू योर डोर स्टेप. जो भी वो डिस्टेंस है वो भी कम से कम 4 से 5 किलोमीटर है. तो दिस काइंड ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज बीइंग प्रोवाइडेड एट GIDCs. These states are spread across the state. Now, one more thing I want to come into this. So, although Department of IT, Directorate of IT is running this policy, but why I am putting it here? कि जैसे सुधीर भाई ने भी बताया कि IP जो होता है ना, that is the most important thing. फ़ोन की जो कॉस्ट होती है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस iPhone is being manufactured by Foxconn in Chennai plant. Why they are putting so much emphasis कि हम 1 घंटा भी मिस नहीं कर सकते, because the margins are very low for this particular product. Why? 70% of that value or the cost goes to the IP owner. हमने भी जैसे इंडिया अभी जो रिसेंट में एक आर्टिकल आया है कि इंडिया इज़ नाउ द लीडिंग एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ द मोबाइल फोन्स, बट जो उसका जो IP होल्डर होगा ना, दैट विल टेक द बल्क ऑफ दैट कॉस्ट. सो हमें अब इस चीज़ पे ही फोकस करना है कि प्रोडक्ट जो है वो हमारे यहाँ डेवलप हो. और प्रोसेस सिंपल रहता है. आप इंडस्ट्री है, इंडस्ट्री विल गिव द प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट कि आई वांट दिस प्रोडक्ट. अब जैसे ये जो CCTV का शुरू हुआ है, CCTV में ईच एंड एवरी कंपनी इज गिविंग डिफरेंट रिक्वायरमेंट. आई वांट फेस रिकॉग्निशन. अभी भी जैसे आई थिंक रिसेंटली सम स्टेट हैज़ पुट these very high quality CCTVs in signals at major signals. What they does, they do face recognition also. They do number plate recognition. अगर आप रूल ब्रेक कर रहे हैं तो it automatically deducts money from your your Paytm or whatever you have registered. तो बेसिकली वो आपको चालान भी नहीं भेजेगा, सीधे आपको रसीद भेजेगा कि हमने काट लिया है, आपने यहाँ पे ब्रेक किया था. So what kind of technology is going into it? वो प्रोडक्ट किसने डेवलप किया है? आइदर ये है कि हम उसको बाहर से लेके आएँ, कहीं बाहर से डेवलप करवाएं, या हम उसको खुद डेवलप करें. सो फॉर दैट डेवलपमेंट दैट प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट विल कम फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्री. कि आप कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरर हैं या फिर आप इवन हैवी इंडस्ट्रीज़ वाले भी हैं कि हमें ये पर्टिकुलर एक इक्विपमेंट चाहिए, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इक्विपमेंट चाहिए. यू वोंट बिलीव दिस रियल इस्टेट और दैट सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन, दे आस्क स्पेसिफिक इक्विपमेंट फॉर देयर लिफ्ट्स कि हमें लिफ्ट में ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वाला एक कंपोनेंट चाहिए. हमारी लिफ्ट कहाँ से कंट्रोल होगी? आपने 20 या 25 मंजिल वाली एक बड़ी बिल्डिंग बना दी, देयर विल बी अ बिग होटल, बट उसका लिफ्ट का एक कंट्रोल तो होना चाहिए ना. जब लिफ्ट वो पुराने हिसाब से नहीं चल सकेगी कि आपने गेट बंद किया फिर वो चल रही है, अगर कहीं बीच में रुक जाए तो उसका कंट्रोल किसके पास होगा? सो देयर इज़ अ कंपनी एंड दे आर एस्टेब्लिश्ड, दे आर इन गुजरात ओनली. दे मेक दिस इक्विपमेंट फॉर लिफ्ट्स, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इक्विपमेंट फॉर लिफ्ट्स. अब इस टाइप के इक्विपमेंट डेवलप कौन करेगा? तो वो जो है व्हेन वी विल डेवलप दिस काइंड ऑफ इक्विपमेंट, दिस काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट आवरसेल्फ, तो जो उसके जो डिमांड और जो एक्चुअल कॉस्ट है उसका बेनिफिट हमें तब ज़्यादा होगा. अभी हम सिर्फ असेंबली कर पाएंगे. जैसे हम PCB असेंबली करेंगे तो कोई ना कोई हमें एक प्रोडक्ट देगा, वो हमें सब बता के दे देगा, आप ऐसे 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 लगा के दो मुझे, देन वी विल डू दैट असेंबली. उसका कॉस्ट भी आई थिंक वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू जनरेट दैट मच प्रॉफिट. बट अगर हमें ग्रो करना है तो हमें वो डिज़ाइन भी खुद करना पड़ेगा कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ थिंग वी वांट टू पुट. सो फॉर दैट वी हैव इंक्लूडेड ऑल दैट काइंड ऑफ डिज़ाइनिंग पार्ट इन अवर ITES पॉलिसी. सो जनरली अ डिज़ाइन कंपनी रिक्वायर, उनकी जो मेजर रिक्वायरमेंट होती है वो होती है स्पेस की, कि हम कहाँ पे ऐसा एक स्पेस, कोवर्किंग स्पेस हमें मिल पाए जहाँ पे हमारे एटलीस्ट 10 to 15 डिज़ाइन इंजीनियर्स जो हैं दे कैन वर्क. दे शुड हैव सम IT हार्डवेयर, they should have a good cloud connection, internet connection, bandwidth connection, right? And उनकी फर्दर ट्रेनिंग हमें करानी है, कुछ कोर्सेज कराने हैं उनको, कुछ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस पे और इनकी स्किल इम्प्रूवमेंट करानी है. These are the major things for such kind of design companies which we have covered into our ITES. Under this policy also we have put straightforward 25% capex, maximum 50 crore for a company which is investing less than 250 crores. If it's more or equal to 250 crores, then 25% of eligible capex expenditure, maximum 200 crores. This capital expenditure includes all of your hardware, whatever the office space you set up, right? This will cover everything. It will include in all your capital investment, and of that 25% will be reimbursed by the government. Then 15% of eligible annual OPEX. So this include of your bills, your rentals, right, and your internet charges. For that 15% maximum for 20 crores, and in other case maximum for 40 crores. So these two, with this thing we are able to cover maximum of your cost. अगर आप इन दोनों को मैच कर ले तो बेसिकली गवर्नमेंट आपको 30 to 40% आपकी कॉस्ट गवर्नमेंट कवर कर रही है. अगर आप सेम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में देखें, अब कैपेक्स, इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी एंड पावर टैरिफ, इन तीनों को आप मिला लें तो आपकी 30 से 35% कॉस्ट गवर्नमेंट बेयर कर रही है. So that is the kind of incentive we have come out. These are the incentives. It's not just about the financial power. It's about the touching the right nerve. कहाँ पे आपको सबसे ज़्यादा इश्यू होता है, कहाँ पे हम आपकी कॉस्ट रिड्यूस कर पाएंगे. So these are the major incentives. Apart from जैसे मैंने बताया employment generation incentive, interest assistance, so that 7% thing interest is also available in this ITES policy. Then electricity duty part, Atmanirbhar Gujarat Sahaya, which is also for that EPF subsidy. So these are the major thing which we are covering under ITES policy. So there are various firms who are doing normal IT software job, they are covered. Why I have included in my presentation, because now we want to focus on these design companies. Recently एक सुधीर भाई ने बताया एक Semiconductor Industry Association of US came, in which Texas Instrument, AMD, NXP, Global Foundries, all these people came. They are the major developer of designs, semiconductor designs, right? इनके अपने दिमाग में कुछ प्रोडक्ट आते हैं कि फ़ोन में ये फीचर होना चाहिए. आपका जैसे अभी ब्लूटूथ का फीचर है, या फिर एक आपने देखा होगा NFC आता था जो, राइट, नियरेस्ट फाउंड डिवाइस जो होता था, तो इनके दिमाग में ये फीचर आया कि हमारे फ़ोन में ये फीचर होना चाहिए. इसके लिए हमें एक चिप डिज़ाइन करनी पड़ेगी जो इसकी सर्किटरी पे काम करेगी. देन दे हैव कंसेप्चुअलाइज्ड दिस प्रोडक्ट. So the product is now with them. Now they will send that product to India कि अब आप इसकी डिज़ाइन कर दो. तो बेसिकली आप इसके लिए कोड लिख दो. तो अभी भी वो कोड लिखने के बावजूद भी जो प्रोडक्ट टाइप ही है वो उनके पास ही रहेगी. So that thing, that product conceptualization और उसकी डिज़ाइनिंग, that is what we want to do it here. So on that part also we have to focus. We have a good enough talent here, and we have the most enterprising industry present in Gujarat, जो बेसिकली हर तरह के प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट भी लेके आती है और उसके सॉल्यूशन भी लेके आती है. सो नाउ वी हैव टू मूव इनटू दैट डायरेक्शन. एंड दिस इज वन मोर कंसेप्ट विच इज IT सिटी टाउनशिप. सो इफ एनी इंडस्ट्री इज ट्राइंग टू डेवलप दिस IT सिटी, जो बेसिकली अभी एक नॉर्म बन चुका है. आप किसी भी सिटी में जाएं, बेंगलोर, हैदराबाद, चेन्नई, देयर विल बी ए स्पेसिफिक IT सिटी which will be focusing on IT companies ranging from different service sector. For that, our IT policy also provides some kind of incentives, mostly the capital incentive of tune of maximum 100 crores. And this is the present IT hubs which we have identified in Gujarat. One is basically Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Vadodara and Surat. There are few companies are already available. In this, I'm not sure how many of you are in knowledge of this thing, but for example, in Gift City, IBM Labs, they have already started their center. They have hired almost 1,500 to 2,000 people. Then L&T Infotech, they are already in talks with government, and sooner they will be starting their own office. They have promised around 10 to 12,000 jobs there in IT sector. Tech Mahindra, they are also establishing their center in Gandhinagar region. Now we have to focus on here also. So the similar kind of zeal we need to have from all major IT hubs which are present in Gujarat. So this is the basic policy brief, government incentive, government initiatives which we are going in. And I tell you that from my own being present in different kind of discussions and meeting with the Chief Minister sir, with Minister sirs, and with the higher officials, that the emphasis on electronic and semiconductor sector is huge. If we go to our executive with any kind of issues which need to be addressed at higher level, it has been given a highest priority. Whether it's about land, whether it's about giving some kind of clearances, whether it's about to talk to central government. Sometimes, for example, these Foxconn and other people, they come and they say, sir, there are a lot of engineers are going to come, which we will bring from Taiwan. कम से कम 100 से 200 एक टाइम पे तो आएंगे ही. तो सर इनका वीज़ा प्रोसेसिंग कितनी फास्ट हो पाएगा? You just mentioned that this is for this electronic sector and these national importance, these projects of national importance. We get direct support from MEA, from central government. This is but sir, if you just write that thing, they are for the letter, you will be given. No issue asked, no questions asked. So that kind of support we are getting it, and this is a golden opportunity for us. All the states are competing. I tell you, everybody who comes from जो पूरे स्टेट्स घूम के आता है वो यही बोलता है कि सर आप इतना दे रहे हैं, वो उतना दे रहे हैं, आप 20% दे रहे हैं, वो 30% दे रहे हैं, ठीक है ना, आप यहाँ पे 7% सब्सिडी दे रहे हैं, वो 15% दे रहे हैं, अलग अलग सब अपना लगा के रखे हैं कि सर वो तो हमें लैंड एट 1 पैसा पे, वो 1 रुपीज़ पे हमें पूरा लैंड दे रहे हैं, 100 एकड़ लैंड, सर आप क्यों नहीं दे रहे हो? सो दैट काइंड ऑफ एवरी स्टेट इज लुकिंग फॉर दैट, बट द एडवांटेज विद अस इज लाइक वी हैव अ वेरी ग्रेट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, वी हैव अ वेरी ग्रेट इंडस्ट्रियल सेटअप ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट हेयर. आपको जैसे अपनी वो जो होते हैं ना प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट निकाल के लेके आना है, एंड यू कैन टर्न एनी सेक्टर एज अ एज ए कस्टमर फॉर एन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी. आप कोई भी सेक्टर टारगेट कर लीजिए, टेक्सटाइल से लेके ऑटोमोबाइल, केमिकल, पेट्रोकेमिकल, कुछ भी, देयर विल बी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड यू कैन सप्लाई इट, दैट कैन बिकम योर कस्टमर. So with that, I wish that this incentive now will be further trickled down to all the companies who are even remotely related to electronics, and they will think through it कि आपकी जो cost है, that government is trying to make it more and more affordable, and they are de-risking your business. So on that view, I believe that this information will pass down to the last person remotely related to this electronics manufacturing sector, and we hope that I will receive now the expression of interest from many of these companies in this our electronic policy, and we need this regular discussion. We need in terms of developing new infrastructure, making this policy more and more friendly, developing the talent. So I hope that we will have this conversation keep on going. We need support from Chamber of Commerce and Industry also to give us the feedback, to bring in more and more companies to our fold, to incentivize them and let them grow. Don't bring a plateau in your turnover. Keep growing it. Otherwise, as I was telling in the morning, that we want next these big companies like Foxconn and Dixon coming from our own state. They should be growing from our own state. Okay. So with that. I will end it here, and our team will provide you the link also. So in that policy document, there is link for official link for DST department. There is this incentive management portal in which you have to register and give your expression of interest if you want to be the part of the policy or you want to take benefit under that policy. Okay. Thank you very much.
Again, huge round of applause for Mr. Videy Khare. મિસ્ટર સુધીર નાયકે સમજાવ્યું કે ગવર્મેન્ટ આવી છે તમારા સુધી, અને વિદય ખારે સમજાવ્યું કે કેટલી સુધી. હું તો થોડુંક સમરાઇઝ કરું એટલે વધારે નથી, પણ કંઈક એક્ઝમ્પશન ઓફ ઇલેક્ટ્રિશિયન ડ્યુટી છે, સ્કિલ ડેવલપમેન્ટના એક્સપેન્સીસને રિમ્બર્સ કર્યા છે, કશે કેપિટલ સબસિડી બાદ આપી છે નવા મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ યુનિટ માટે, અને ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ સબસિડી છે લોન માટે, અને બસ એટલું તો ઘણું બધું છે. હમણાં બહાર જશું ને વરસાદમાં પેલું રોડ પર પાણી ભરાઈ ગયું છે તો ગવર્મેન્ટને કમ્પ્લેન કરશું કે આ પાણી ભરાઈ નથી કરતા કંઈ, પણ બીજી બાજુ ગવર્મેન્ટના ઓફિશિયલ્સ આપણી વચ્ચે આવીને કહે છે કે આ બધું છે લઈ જાઓ મારી પાસેથી એમ. સો વી નીડ ટુ ટેક બેનિફિટ કે કઈ બાજુ આપણે એફર્ટ કરવા છે. અને જે લોકો ઘણા સમયથી ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં છે એને ખબર હશે કે સરકાર પાસે કંઈક નાની પરમિશન લેવા જવી હોય તો પણ કેટલા ડિફિકલ્ટ હતું. ધીસ ઇઝ અ ન્યૂ ઇન્ડિયા કે આટલી બધી પોલિસીસ બનાવી છે, અને હજી તો આપણા સાઈડથી કોઈ સુધારા મને લાગતું નથી, જેમ સાહેબે કીધું કોઈ માંગશે, પણ માંગશે તો મને નથી લાગતું સરકાર ના પાડશે. સો ધેટ ઇઝ ઓલ અપ્લોઝ અગેન ફોર ધ ગવર્મેન્ટ. સો ઓપનિંગ બેટ્સમેન તો બંને ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી પણ બતાવી સાઉથ ગુજરાતમાં, અને પોલિસીસ પણ ખબર પડી. સો નાવ વી હિયર અબાઉટ એક્સપર્ટ Dr. Pradeep Thakur કે હવે હું તારે ટાઈમ નહીં લઉં, સમય પણ થોડો ઓછો છે. એમને બોલાવતા પહેલાં હું 2 મિનિટ મિસ્ટર સુધીર નાયકને આપીશ અને પછી આઈ વેલકમ મિસ્ટર ડૉક્ટર પ્રદીપ ઠાકર, કન્ટ્રી હેડ એન્ડ વીપી ડી મેટ્રિક્સ અને IESના એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ કમિટી મેમ્બર. ઓકે, યસ સુધીર સર.
As discussed, I will take only 2 minutes, but I wanted to go home with 2 ideas. Because આપણે પોલિસીની વાત થઈ ગઈ, માર્કેટ છે, બધું છે, પણ કરવું શું, કઈ જગ્યાએ હાથ નાખવો? I think that's the most critical thing. I have at least 2 things in mind. One is that EV is going to be the next thing coming in. Whether it is two-wheeler, like Ather or anybody you see, they have all electronics, including GPS, hill hold, every feature what you have in four-wheeler is coming to two-wheeler. Now we have thousands of repair shops all around India, but they are all for petrol and diesel engines. Now when this electronics EV car comes and it stops on the road, who is going to repair? So regionally you can think of a concept that we will have a major control center in Surat, and all around the villages, wherever anybody stops with any make of scooter or car, then we will get it repaired in this much time. So it's a big opportunity knocking your door without using much brain. Second concept and second idea I have is worldwide, as of now, today I am talking to you, around 1.5 million apps are there. Now, there are 60 to 80% apps are free download, but there are paid download also. So, and the business model is very good, that you develop the app, upload it, you will get 30%, 70% is with the people who, whether it is a Facebook or TikTok or whoever is there, they will keep it. So you can think of the any tuvarna dana kem cholwa. Suppose that machine, if you want to develop, you develop and put it on the app, you will get the money. Just to give the numbers, and what I am trying to tell you is, there are 8.4 million apps. TikTok in 2018, they got $880 billion by downloading the apps. Instagram 200, Facebook 220, and WhatsApp $230 billion they are getting from download of the app, and not the business done through that app. That is a different number. That's, if you that put it, that is in trillion. So develop any app which comes in your mind, develop and load it there. You will get the money. That will be your engine to develop IP. So your cost, IP is not going to give you money immediately. It takes time to mature, and you might have to prove it in silicon also to get the IP. So to reach there, you need bread and butter to pay your employees. So that you can derive through this kind of thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I again welcome Dr. Pradeep Thakur for topic overview of IESA Association and Semiconductor Connect. Yes, sir. Stage is yours.
माननीय SDSSI, SVNIT, Khare Sahib, Sudhir Bhai, thank you so much for the opportunity to have me here. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm going to ask for your time downstairs when you're having coffee and tea, and I'll tell you why. I do have slide deck. I planned for 30 minutes, but I'm going to just use 10 minutes. But I'm going to request that I have brought an entire exhibit of what chip design is, from wafer to die to testing, packaging, assembly, productizing, all the way through, right? એટલે સિલિકોન એટલે શું, મને યાદ છે કે જ્યારે મારું મેરેજ માટે હું જવાનો હતો ત્યારે મારા સસરાએ પૂછ્યું તમે શું કરો છો અમેરિકામાં, તો મેં કીધું હું ચિપ બનાવું છું. એટલે થોડા કન્ફ્યુઝ થયા. મને બોલે શેની ચિપ બનાવો છો, મેં વેફરમાંથી ચિપ બનાવું છું, એટલે વધારે ગૂંચવાય. મને કહે છે કે તમારો પગાર શું છે, મારે તો અહીંયા મારી છોકરી પરણાવી, એટલે મારો ઓફર લેટર બતાવે. એટલે ઘણી વખત આવી પરિસ્થિતિ થતી હોય છે કે આપણે ઘણી બધી માહિતી આપીએ પણ કદાચ ફંડામેન્ટલ ક્વેશ્ચન બાકી રહે કે ભાઈ ચિપ શું છે, રાઈટ, કે ભાઈ પ્રોડક્ટ કેવી રીતે ડિઝાઇન કરવાની રહે. એટલે હું ખાસ બેંગ્લોરથી આખો એક્ઝિબિટ સેટ લાવ્યો છું, અને હું તમને એટલું રિક્વેસ્ટ કરીશ, હું અહીંયા ટાઈમ તમારો નહીં લો, પણ તમારી 10 મિનિટ જો મને મળશે નીચે જ્યારે ટી બ્રેક પડે કે ડિનર બ્રેક વખતે, તો આઈ વુડ લવ ટુ એક્સપ્લેન વોટ ચિપ ડિઝાઇન ઇઝ, અને એમાં ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીના રિલેટેડ બિઝનેસ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ ક્યાં છે, અને એમાં બી સુરત જેવો એરિયા કે જેમાં આટલી બધી એન્ટરપ્રિનરશિપ છે, આટલું બધું બિઝનેસ છે, આટલી બધી એક ફાઇનાન્શિયલ વેલ્થ છે અને પ્રુવન આટલી ધગશ છે જનરેશન્સથી, રાઈટ. સુરત આજથી નથી જાણીતું, વર્ષોથી જાણીતું છે, રાઈટ. સો સુરત જેવી પોલિટન સાથે ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી એક વાત કરવાની મળે તો આઈ વુડ લવ ટુ explain with a show and tell rather than talk. So I would love, I'll restrict myself here, but I'll request that before you go, at least give me 10 minutes of your time or dinner or coffee before you go. So let me just dive right into it. I see. So let me just dive right into it. I'll keep it to 10 minutes. 6:55. I'll finish it at 7:05. So થયું છે શું મૂળમાં, રાઈટ. ચીપ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી 1958માંથી શરૂ થઈ અને ટ્રિલિયન્સ ઓફ ડોલર્સની ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી છે. ઘણા બધા કન્ટ્રીઝ, ઘણા બધા બિઝનેસીસ એમાંથી ડેવલપ કર્યા છે. ઘણી મોટી મોટી કંપની છે, ઇન્ટેલ તમે સાંભળ્યું હશે, IBM એન્ડ સો ઓન, રાઈટ. પણ આમાં પ્રોબ્લેમ શું થયો છે કે ઇન્ડિયામાં 1985માં ટેક્સાસ ઇન્સ્ટ્રુમેન્ટ પહેલી વખત બેંગ્લોરમાં આવીને એમણે ચીપ ડિઝાઇન શરૂ કરી અને જે આપણો સક્સેસ બન્યો એ જ આપણો લિમિટેશન બની ગયું. કે આપણો સક્સેસ એ થયો કે આપણી ટેલેન્ટને જોઈને ઇન્ડિયામાં બહારની કંપની આવીને એ લોકો આપણી ટેલેન્ટનું યુટિલાઇઝેશન કર્યું, પણ એ ટેલેન્ટનું યુટિલાઇઝેશન લીધે આપણે કેપ્ટિવ ડિઝાઇન સેન્ટર બની ગયા અને જેને લઈને આપણે આપણી પોતાની પ્રોડક્ટ્સ ડિઝાઇન કરીએ, આપણા પોતાના પેઇન પોઈન્ટ્સ કે ભાઈ ઇન્ડિયામાં મારે શું પેઇન પોઈન્ટ છે, મારા ખેડૂતોને શું પેઇન પોઈન્ટ છે, મારા રોડ રાહગીરને શું પેઇન પોઈન્ટ છે, મારે ગવર્મેન્ટમાં કેવી સિસ્ટમ જોઈએ કે મારી યુનિવર્સિટીમાં કેવું સિસ્ટમ જોઈએ, એને બદલે એક એવી આખી ઇકોસિસ્ટમ મલ્ટીનેશનલ કંપનીઓએ ઊભી કરી કે પ્રોડક્ટ ઇન્ડિયામાં ડેવલપ કરે, ગ્લોબલી સેલ કરે અને એ જે બધી પ્રોડક્ટો ગ્લોબલી સેલ થાય એમાંથી નાનો પર્સન્ટ જે ઇન્ડિયામાં એપ્લિકેબલ થતો હોય તો ઇન્ડિયામાં લોન્ચ થાય, રાઈટ. એટલે સેલફોન લોન્ચ થયા, સક્સેસ ગયા, રાઈટ. ઇલેક્ટ્રિક વ્હીકલ્સ લોન્ચ થઈ રહ્યા છે, સક્સેસ થાય છે. પણ આજે ઓટોનોમસ વ્હીકલની વાત ચાલે છે તો ઇન્ડિયામાં ઓટોનોમસ વ્હીકલ ઇન્ડિયા માટે કોણ ડેવલપ કરે છે? આજે ટેસ્લાની કાર ઇન્ડિયામાં નથી ચાલવાની, રાઈટ. કે આપણા ખેડૂતો ઘણા બધા પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ એ લોકો ડીલ કરતા હોય, એમાં ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ આપણે કદાચ લેબર રિલેટેડ પ્રોબ્લેમ ના આવે પણ હેલ્થ રિલેટેડ આસ્પેક્ટ્સ હોય તો એમાં ટેલિમેટ્રી કે ટેલિમેડિસિન, રાઈટ, કે જે આજે ઇન્ડિયામાં પૂરતા ડૉક્ટરો નથી પર કેપિટા પોપ્યુલેશન, રાઈટ. તો એના માટે ટેલિમેડિસિનની એવી ઇલેક્ટ્રોનિક્સની કઈ એપ્લિકેશન ડેવલપ થઈ શકે, એવો કયો હાર્ડવેર અને સોફ્ટવેર ડેવલપ થઈ શકે કે જે ડૉક્ટર શહેરમાં બેઠા બેઠા ગામના લોકોને પ્રોપરલી ટ્રીટમેન્ટ આપી શકે. એ આપણો પ્રોબ્લેમ છે, પણ એ કોણ વિચારે છે? કારણ કે હું ગ્રેજ્યુએટ થયો એટલે મારી પહેલી પ્રાયોરિટી નોકરી શોધવાની હતી કે ભાઈ મને સારી નોકરી મળે, સારી નોકરી મળે પછી પ્રમોશન મળે પછી વધારે પ્રમોશન મળે, વધારે પગાર. આઈ નેવર લુક બેક કે ભાઈ એઝ એ એન્ટરપ્રિનર હું મારા દેશને શું ફાયદો કરે છે. જે મારા દેશના પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ મારા ફિલ્ડથી સોલ્વ થઈ શકે એવા છે કે જે તરફ કોઈનું ધ્યાન નથી વર્લ્ડમાં, એ હું શું કરી શકું. અને એ ફિલ્ડમાં તમે આજે જુઓ તો ઇન્ડિયામાં જેટલા વ્હીકલ્સ છે, ઇન્ડિયામાં જેટલી વસ્તી છે, ઇન્ડિયામાં જેટલી ચેલેન્જીસ છે, તો અહીંયા આગળ આપણી પાસે બહુ મોટું માર્કેટ છે. પણ અત્યાર સુધી એ માર્કેટની અવેરનેસ આપણા સિવાય બીજા કોઈને હતી ને એને આપણને ઇન્સેન્ટિવ નહોતો. તો આજે ખરે સાહેબે જો અહીંયા જે કવર કર્યું છે ઇઝ ધ ઇન્સેન્ટિવ, રાઈટ. કે આજે આપણી ઇન્ડિયન ગવર્મેન્ટ ઓફ ઇન્ડિયા અને ગવર્મેન્ટ ઓફ ગુજરાત એટલા બધા ઇન્સેન્ટિવ્સ આપે છે કે જેથી કરીને આપણા વિદ્યાર્થીઓ, આપણી ફેકલ્ટી, આપણા ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલિસ્ટ એવા પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ જુએ આપણી આજુબાજુ કે ભાઈ આ પ્રોબ્લેમ સોલ્વ કરવા જેવા છે અને લાવ એમાંથી હું શું પ્રોડક્ટાઇઝેશન કરી શકું અને એમાંથી સ્ટાર્ટઅપનો આઈડિયા આવે. સ્ટાર્ટઅપને ગવર્મેન્ટ ફંડ આપે, જમીન આપે, સુવિધા આપે, રાઈટ. અને એમ કરતાં કરતાં ધીરે ધીરે ઇનોવેશનનું કલ્ચર સેટ થાય અને ઇનોવેશનનું કલ્ચર સેટ થઈ અને આપણે આત્મનિર્ભર બનીએ. આત્મનિર્ભર એટલે આપણા પ્રોબ્લેમ આપણે આપણી જાતે સોલ્વ કરી શકીએ, આપણને પોસાય તેવા પ્રાઇસ પોઈન્ટ પર સોલ્વ કરી શકીએ, રાઈટ. અને એના માટે જે ઇનોવેશન છે એ આખો જે એફર્ટ છે મેક ઇન ઇન્ડિયા કે સેમિકન્ડક્ટર અને રિલેટેડ, એ આખો એફર્ટ આના સંદર્ભમાં છે કે આપણે આપણા પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ આપણને જાતે ઓળખીને જાતે સોલ્વ કરીને એવી રીતે બનાવીએ લોકલી અને એવી રીતે પ્રાઇસ પોઈન્ટથી વેચીએ કે જે આપણા કન્ઝ્યુમર્સ એને અફોર્ડ કરી શકે, રાઈટ. અને આ પરિસ્થિતિ શા માટે થઈ? કારણ કે અત્યારે તાઇવાન ચાઇનાનું ટેન્શન થયું અને એમાંથી એવરીબડી ધ હોલ વર્લ્ડ કેમ ટુ રિયલાઇઝ કે ટુમોરો સમથિંગ હેપન્સ ટુ ચાઇના, everything is in trouble, right? Everything meaning, it's a highly priced industry, of course profits go away, but even national security is in trouble, right? Internet would not work, day-to-day life won't work if the chip supply cannot come. So this awareness has come, and this awareness has come at a very important time because we have many advantages. 65% of our population is below the age of 35, right? So for youth, this is a really good opportunity. We have really good infrastructure academically, we can upgrade it. Again, government is giving a lot of incentives, as you saw in Khare Sahib's slide, for improving the academic infrastructure. there is a substantial diaspora across the world. Mukesh Bhai is here from Chicago, right? There are many like him who are willing to serve the nation, serve the country. There are many experienced professionals here who have really spent their entire life, right, in the early days of this industry. As Sudhir Bhai said, he was born before transistor was invented, right? So there is so much experience here, right? So this is really a call to action to our entrepreneurs, to our innovators, to our industrialists, to our academics to come together, right, and take on the incentives that government is putting forward, right, in making our own success, controlling our own destiny, and of course earning a huge amount of profits along the way, because that opportunity somebody else is taking today. Today, somebody else manufactures cell phones, and we only get the labor salary. We can manufacture and sell our own cell phones, and that's where the money is, right? We can make our own IPs. So let me just go through, I will just skip through all this here. You already seen that this is a great opportunity and all that. I would not spend time here. I would rather show you the real deal downstairs on the first floor. So in the ecosystem perspective, there are a lot of initiatives that are happening, and I just wanted to quickly flash here that today under DLI scheme in government, central government of India, under PLI scheme under central government of India, and under state schemes, just as you heard from Khare Sahib, on the GSM scheme, right? So there are tons of benefits, and you are talking about crores of rupees being invested by the government કે આપણે જેમ કહે ને કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી ઊભી કરવા માટે જ્યારે આપણે 1947માં દેશ ઊભો કર્યો, રાઈટ, અને આપણને 20-30 વર્ષ લાગ્યા. આજે જે ટુડે ધ સ્કીમ્સ ધેટ આર બીંગ ઓફર્ડ ઇઝ માઇન્ડ બોગલિંગ. આવી સ્કીમ્સ 35 વર્ષ પહેલાં હોત, 20 વર્ષ પહેલાં હોત, તો ઇન્ડિયા could have been much farther along. So today luckily we have that mindset among our government officials that they want to make the business easy, they want to support business to get up, right? તો આ રૂમની બહાર, સુરત સિટીની બહાર તમે બેંગ્લોરમાં આવો, રાઈટ, તમે હૈદરાબાદમાં જાઓ, રાઈટ, તમે નોઈડામાં જાઓ, તો તમને એમ લાગશે કે ત્યાં લગન આવ્યું છે. Everybody is so excited about these schemes, right? There is so much excitement going on in the VLSI industry, in the electronics industry, in the manufacturing industry, that it just you can feel it in the air, right? And that is the experience that we want to somehow translate with our Surat audience here, to say that this is really, and we would like to invite you, the academics from here, industrialists from here. I am representing India Semiconductor Association, and our job is to enable electronics and semiconductor industry awareness, right, and also support individuals or conglomerates to succeed in India, right? That's what our job is. I mean, when I say our job, it's our volunteer work, but that's our mission is, right? So what I would like to say is that, those among you who are in academics, and if you like to come visit few companies in Bangalore, right? Those among you who are industrialists, if you like to come and see, how the semiconductor companies of indigenous, like Tejas Networks, for example, right? That's an indigenous success story, right? कि કેવી રીતે કામ કરે છે. અને if you look for technology mentors, ISA can always enable the connections, contacts, so that you can find the right people in the industry who can help you grow your business. Well, the seed first and then grow it. As ISA, we have 4 verticals that we support as volunteers: industry, government, academia, and citizen society. So today you heard a lot from industry as well as government. I'm going to just touch upon a little bit on what we do for academia, and I just want to quickly highlight 2 things here. So ISA has also created an incubation program called SAFAL, and the SAFAL incubation program is a startup acceleration program. So as Khare Sahib said, that creating intellectual property has the maximum profitability, that has a maximum return on investment. Manufacturing has a smaller margin, right? So SAFAL is a model that is created and been functioning for 4 years in Karnataka. This model provides everything: technology mentorship, business mentorship, space, EDA tool access, making chips at a subsidized cost, providing EDA tools available for free, right? So it is a really, and they don't take even 1% equity. It is entirely done to benefit the entrepreneur, right? So SAFAL is one thing that you want to register. We are thinking that we want to do a SAFAL similar incubation in Gujarat, right? So that you will hear more about that. And if Surat wants to be the host for the first, I'm sure it would be a steep competition between Ahmedabad and Surat and Gandhinagar. But Surat માં ના થાય તો સુરતી કરે, right? या હોમ કરીને પડો ફતે છે આગે, બરાબર કરે. એટલે સુરતમાં થાય એવું ના થાય, અમદાવાદમાં થાય, ગાંધીનગરમાં થાય, ધોલેરામાં થાય. But it's a really good opportunity for everybody in Surat to consider, right? Second aspect, which is electropreneur park. So we have started electropreneur park in Odisha, and we also started one in Delhi. And a shuffle focuses on the intellectual property creation જે સોફ્ટવેર સ્પેસમાં હોય કે ચિપ ડિઝાઇન સ્પેસમાં હોય અને ચિપ ક્રિએશન ચિપ મેકિંગ. Electropreneur Park focuses on product ideas and product innovation. So how do you solve a particular problem where you're not going to develop a chip, but you're going to design a system, right? And that whole system design concept is a different engineering. It requires industrial design, product ideation. It's a completely different business model. So that is also been set up in two places, Noida and Odisha, and it's been up and running, and it's a quite successful model. Right? So I'm here to let you know about these two programs. You can always Google more. You can reach out to us. So we can certainly be more than happy to support you with more information. So here I'm going to talk about academia real quick. So what is the key problem that we are seeing? As again, Sudhir Bhai also said, Kharif Sahib also said that customer, right, capital and talent, right. So talent is also as important to be successful. So as ISA, we have created a program called Semiconductor Nation Campus Connect, and under that program, we reach out to as many universities as we can, and we let them know what we can do for them. Then we leave it for the university to leverage us. Right? There is no membership required. There is no penny cost. It's all being done voluntarily. Right? So what we want to ensure is that when a student graduates with a bachelor's degree, that student has the right skills to be hitting the ground running. Right? 4 years should not be that then he or she requires another year of finishing school, another 2 years of hands-on training. It should, the quality of education bar can be lifted higher, and the way we want to do it, academic infrastructure is good, academic institutes are good. We want to bring in the industry perspective to the curriculum. We want to be able to help you with the sponsorship of labs that you might need. We want to be able to bring EDA tools to you. We want to bring industry volunteers for guest lecturing, if you like to, right? So there are a variety of things that we offer under this program, and there are lots of volunteers that support. So the key idea here is that under this program, I'm just going to jump through all of this. We can cover some other day. But these are all the things that we provide, where we provide, industry happenings to the academia, curriculum and advisory, content design. We also provide self-learning platform for the students and faculty, from the industry perspective. Also, we support soft skill training development for students. And also lab sponsorship, EDA training, as I said, and enable and connect to global institutes. And then, of course, what's the last thing that's important is getting students internship, getting students industry jobs, right? What can ISA do? So what's been happening, and with this I'll stop. I know I've gone 2 minutes more, I'll just stop quickly. But what we have seen happen, કે મોટાભાગના જે 250-300 કંપનીઓ છે એ મોટાભાગની કંપનીઓ અમુક યુનિવર્સિટીમાંથી જ હાયરિંગ કરે, because that's where there is a certain NARF ranking and this and that, right? But good talent તો કોઈ બી કોલેજમાં હોય. There is no reason to believe કે only few universities should have a monopoly on the entire industry opening. So આ જે model છે where few companies only work with few universities, we are short of 10,000 fresh graduates today in the industry, right? And we say that we are not able to find them. So what we want to do as ISA, we are going to be doing talent scouting nationwide, again free of cost to the student and the university. And the students that can make it through that talent scouting, we want to, so we have 250 plus industry members, ranging from Intels to the smallest startup company like D-Matrix, right? We all need talent. We all need fresh graduates that are really good, right? So we are going to be doing this talent scouting nationwide, starting towards the end of this year, which will be an open exam. A student from any university can appear, and if they do really well, we are going to select top 500 or 1,000 students, and we are going to ensure that they get good placement in the multinational companies that are our members. So we want to be able to enable that. We also want to introduce an element of entrepreneurship coaching in the universities, so we can help universities start incubation programs within their campus, and those incubation campuses then can go on to become companies. Like you might have heard of Bot Labs, right? The company out of IIT Delhi that developed drones, right? It was an incubation. Even RISC-V core out of IIT, Shakti processor out of IIT Madras, right? So everything starts somewhere, right? So we want to reach out to the academics, and we want to, help academia wherever they think we can help. Every university will have a different need, so we can customize our offering. And with that, I will stop here. I have a lot of slides, but I don't want to. I would rather take your time with the exhibit downstairs when you have a team, right?
Become member of ISA. That much you can request.
Sure. I think if you like the product, the ISA membership is for the companies, not for the academics. Academics is free. Yeah. Right? But if there are companies here in the electronic space, semiconductor space, if you see a value in what we do, come to get to know us. If you see what we do, it brings a value to you. You are welcome to be a member. I'm sure you will see the value, but I'll leave it up to you. Sudhir Bhai does a better pitch on sales than I can. I'm an engineer by trade. So thank you so much.
So thank you, Mr. Dr. Pradeep. Short and sweet, but effective one. પણ એમને કમિટમેન્ટ આપ્યું છે કે પછી ટાઈમ આપશે વધારે. સો યસ, ગોઈંગ વિથ દેટ કમિટમેન્ટ ફર્ધર. સો આજનો લાસ્ટ સેશન ડિલિવર્ડ બાય ડૉક્ટર આનંદ દરજી, જે આપણા સુરતના SVNITના ફેકલ્ટી છે અને કેપેસિટી બિલ્ડિંગ ટુ મીટ ઇન ESDM નીડ્સ. સો એમને પણ હું રિક્વેસ્ટ કરીશ કે શોર્ટ એન્ડ સ્વીટ, સુરતના જ છે તો વારંવાર મળતા રહેશે, પણ આજના મોકા પર પેલું લાસ્ટ બોલ પર 6 કેવી હોય એવું આજે પ્રેઝન્ટેશન આપે. સો થેન્ક યુ ડૉક્ટર આનંદરજી.
So it is always difficult to deliver a last talk, and especially it is post dinner or post lunch or pre lunch or pre dinner. So anyway, I'll make as suggested by host that we'll keep it short. See, basically the need of any industry is the manpower. So the manpower is the foundation, and today I would like to talk how we can build skilled manpower, which is the most required for semiconductor or ESDM industry. And see, there are challenges once it is kind of interdisciplinary in nature. We require, as suggested by earlier speakers, even we require engineers from chemical background, material science background, even electronics. So how to bring all talent and how to bridge the gap which we see between industry and academia. So there are some ways we can at least try to see and achieve the target. So first of all, why we need a capacity building? So to position India as a global hub for electronic system design and manufacturing, by encouraging the driving capability in the country, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has come out with National Policy of Electronics. So apart from what Khareji discussed, on the background we have 2019 National Policy of Electronics, which was the catalyst behind entire ecosystem which we are trying to see, wherein all detailing and why this policy has come up, that it generated heat, that our electronics import has reached to the oil import. So there was a need that there must be some policy through which we can start manpower building and for ESDM industry. So it is focuses on major focus to develop core components including chipsets and creating enabling environment for industry to complete globally. So basically this was the idea. What are the products covered? That mobile phone, then LED lighting, engine units, laptops, notebooks, then optical fiber networks, CCTV, metering. These are all products we are trying to target. Industry segment, we have two segments, electronics market and on the bottom line electronic system design and manufacturing. So we have So we have top component level electronics product market, electronics computer market, electronics design market, and electronics manufacturing services. At the bottom we can cater all this through electronic system market and electronics design market. So basically electronic system design and manufacturing market will deal all this available. So before we go with as we talk on manufacturing process is so complex, 30 days is the total timeline. I'd like to show you a small video maybe it will be. I think voice is not visible. Means voice is not available, but we can see. So. So it sees that all the products where electronics is the key goal. This is where process starts from sand. It is converted to electronics grade silicon by removing all the impurities. Then we add P-type or N-type impurity to make it or they are called dopant.
This microchip can take up to 26 weeks to make. In its as many as 100 layers, billions of transistors are packed into an area about the size of a fingernail. They're the brains behind almost everything we use in our increasingly electronic world. Here's how these complex, tiny devices are made. The process begins with silicon-rich sand. Why silicon? Silicon is a semiconductor. It's the sweet spot between an insulator and a pure conductor. That means its properties such as its conductivity can be altered by adding impurities or doping to meet the needs of different electronic devices. This also allows us to control the electrical signals that pass through. Silicon is also abundant. It's one of the 10 most common elements found on Earth. But much of the silicon found in the wild is chemically bound to oxygen, so the two elements must be separated. The sand is combined with carbon and melted in crucibles to produce carbon monoxide and 99% pure silicon. After further processing, ultra-pure silicon is produced. Next, a seed crystal is placed in contact with molten silicon. As the seed crystal is slowly pulled away, silicon atoms are deposited on the bottom surface. The result is a large cylindrical boule, or a single crystal ingot of pure silicon. The boule is then thinly sliced into wafers. Silicon wafers typically have diameters of 1 to 12 inches, with the most state-of-the-art facilities being able to produce wafers up to 18 inches in diameter. Bigger wafers are, of course, able to yield more microchips. Once the silicon wafers are cut, the production process begins in full. Microchips are made in extremely sterile conditions, free from contaminants such as dust. If even just one particle of dust makes its way onto a silicon wafer, the entire batch is at risk of being ruined. This would derail a process that can take an average of 12 weeks. The first step of the production process is deposition. A thin, non-conducting layer of silicon dioxide is grown or deposited on the surface of the wafer. Then the silicon wafer is prepared for lithography by coating it with photosensitive and light-resistant materials. The next step is very critical: exposure. The prepared silicon wafers enter a lithography machine. and are exposed to UV light passed through a reticle containing the chip's blueprint. The areas exposed to light are hardened, while unexposed areas are then etched away by hot gases to leave a three-dimensional microchip. The electrical conductivity of different parts of the chip can also be altered by doping them with chemicals under heat and pressure. This process can be repeated hundreds of times for the same chip, producing a more complex integrated circuit at each step. To create conducting paths between the components, a thin layer of metal, such as aluminum, is overlaid onto the chip, and the etching process is used to remove everything except the thin conducting pathways. Several layers of conductors separated by glass insulators can be laid down. Each chip on the wafer is then tested for performance before it's separated from other chips on the wafer by a saw. Since microchips are essentially circuits built on an incredibly small scale, they have a basic set of components. Capacitors can temporarily store an electrical charge. Resistors help control the electrical current.
So you've seen a little bit about or in base of how chip can be fabricated. So it is so much controlled process, it requires a lot of automation, and it also needs interdisciplinary knowledge, required lot of manpower. So let us see growth of ESDM prediction for financier. As such, Sudhirji already discussed that cumulative. So you can see 250. These are in the US dollar in billion. 215 billion US dollar to 540. Similarly, electronic system design manufacturing also growing from 90 billion US dollar to 220 billion US dollar. You can see the smartphone shipment has been increased from within a 1 year 160 million to 190 million. So actually the pace of electronics with which we grow, it is phenomenal. So what is the idea that if you want to keep same growth, we need manpower, and especially IP generation, as was one of the key point discussed earlier. Speakers, they discuss about IP generation. So how do we go? So capacity building, we have 3 phases to promote startup and incubation more and more, because things move from that point. Then innovation, ecosystem creation for more IP development, and establishment of center of excellence. So in this Gujarat electronic cell that Khareji discussed, that is on same line to establish GAT cells across Gujarat or even in larger scale, so that we can train manpower as per the need. So the first point, like how to promote startup and incubation. So there were 1300 tech startups established in year 2019, and it is pursuant to this startup will grow in future, because see, one in ESDM industry, it is very much likely, because of demand is so high, that startup will really turn into unicorn. Then incentive support from government for training, intensive, or even for other expenses. Then innovation lead design and design manufacturing is needed. Design innovation and IP will help create high value addition, and focus is on new use cases like medical, agriculture, as per our Indian requirement. See, as Pradeep ji told, that we miss the thing what we need, because we have a lot of scope of development as per the need. So that we can look at, and the startup should work in this direction, so that definitely they will be benefited. Then how to generate innovation ecosystem, so in which government should play a role, like as with has suggested that 100 fabless companies and 1900 intelligent electronics product in next 5 years is planned. This will require setting up incubation centers, creating a seed fund which can be at least 50-50 partnership between government and private investor. The fund should have mandate. So it actually, this is fabless assembly, testing, marketing and packaging. So in all these things, and for power electronics company also we are including nowadays, because EV is based on power electronics. These startups and IPR generated is expected to drive around $20 billion in emerging areas. So lot of scope available for innovation, and center of excellence as how we can move. So in order to generate interest in ESDM sector, government and leading organizations should also should invest creation of a specialized center of excellence. See why there is a need, as normal curriculum may not take care of specific need. So we cannot design the curriculum which will be pertaining to some company. So center of excellence where the stakeholder will come, take advantage, and it will become sustainable because lot of investment goes into. And similar, what will be the benefit to the student and faculty? That same center of excellence which will be like an industry, so that they can bridge the gap between academia and industry requirement. So this way we can upscale the capabilities of workforce by increasing research, IP development and product engineering. So this concept we are even our scheme which is launched by Gujarat government also takes care. Training, how we can go about, because training is the main part for generation of skilled manpower, wherein we can look at government, academia and industry together. So role of government to fund labs, to bring industry and academia together, and to have incentive, to give incentive to startup and industry. Role of academic institute to improve the curriculum with more practical emphasis. So due to IT orientation, we see students generally do not go into ESDM sector more. They are more oriented towards IT. So we need to change the mindset by awareness program, even starting from 11, 12 standard, as sir told, PCB design and all this stuff. They should know. Right now we are only consumer market. We don't know what is behind that particular product. So we can just give some idea so that they will be oriented towards more core sector. Introduce some short term and specialized courses in terms of finishing course. To train the trainers program, say basically some NITs, IITs or premium institutes where center of excellence are there. They can invite people, they train, and nearby colleges or nearby small ITIs, and in turn they will train the students later on. So train the trainer program to reach out maximum people. Finishing schools pertaining to different niche area we can run, because as I told, curriculum may not cover all these things. To collaborate with industry to develop some elective courses. So some core courses we generally academia reluctant to change. So but elective there is a flexibility. So we can introduce more electives with the help of industry, where even industry experts can also teach along with the faculties. To take inputs from industry to develop curriculum for short-term specialized courses, like we have FDPs, faculty development programs and all. So if we make it more industry oriented by taking help to develop such courses with help of industry, it will be more fruitful. And so basically this is related to academic institute and industry to collaborate with academia. We also see whether we believe or not, but generally Indian industry they don't go much and they don't trust on academia, and that's why collaboration doesn't go. So that is the first step. Provide help in training and set up laboratory, because whatever laboratory state of art available in our academia is more of to take care of subject. They may not be upscale or level is not that high, so that we can even develop some industrial project. So there they may help that okay, this particular like instrument will be helpful, you can buy this, will be more better, it is more industrial specification oriented. So that can be also one of the, and we see nowadays, you know, last 5 years, 10 years scenario little bit have changed. We see some industries are coming up to set up lab at least, like Texas Instrument and Intel, IBM. They start, you know, investing money, setting lab in the academia. Collaborative project and research. So even we can start with a small project. We know academia has its own limitation. Industry have very stringent timeline, so that they do not give. But you know, some research futuristic project they may give, so that they may start thinking or they may orient themselves little bit in that direction. So this is the role of industry, which will be helpful to generate capacity building in this area. So actually, you know, in crux, what I have seen from experience, we need to work on 2 points. One is to orient student more on core, because they believe more in IT, because it is, they see gain there. That is number one. And second is to have more practical oriented training and teaching. Okay, this will, I think, solve somewhat this problem of capacity building. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Anand, Dr. Anandarji. And in a nutshell, you know, we all aware about now what are the significant opportunity in this ESDM sector, and you know, this required a great supportive system, which is, you know, which sir mentioned, that in South Gujarat, you know, we have infrastructure in setup, the entrepreneur are ready, the funds are ready, that they just need a strong supportive ecosystem with the industry or SGCCI like an association, with the government industry association like the ISBS, what sir said, and required, you know, this whole stakeholder just must work for 1 or 2 years. This is a really great era, and we can, you know, foster great innovations and sustainable solution from this area. So that is I just come to know by this all 4 speaker which I heard about. So now it's audience, we have 2 choice. So we have 10 minutes of break and then we have great panel discussion, or we can continue with the panel discussion and just complete at 8. So what your choice? Just complete, yes? Yes, okay. So no, so this shows, you know, the impact of this subject and the knowledge we just get. So not further taking much time, I invite whole panel for panel discussion on opportunities and challenges in ESDM sector. Yes, and role of ecosystem. So which is I just mentioned, you know, we need a strong ecosystem. So this panel is moderated by Dr. Nitin Patel, Dean Academics, SCAT College, Surat, and the panelists are, as label them, Shri Videh Khare, Mission Director, Gujarat State Economics Mission, Dr. Anand Darji, Faculty Member, SVNIT, Surat, Shri Sudhir Nayak, Co-founder InfoChief and IESDM Gujarat Chairman, and Dr. Pradeep Thakur, Country Head, VP, D-Matrix. So, sir, please take your place and we start with the panel discussion.
Very warm good evening to all of you. After these long sessions, and let us now have a turn of yours. You are also equally participant for a panel discussion, and put a relevant questions to panel so that we can take a maximum advantage of a very good panel we have it. Before we start, all what we had looked at is few sectors whereby we are expecting huge growth in upcoming years on a ESDM domain. The industry perspective can be put by Pradeep Bhai and Sudhir Bhai. Government perspective, Khareji will put an academic perspective. Anand Bhai and few other panelists, if you have some academicians, we can also put. I have very first question is that as Khareji has told, they have targeted 10% of the national average to put that kind of a turnover in Gujarat. But frankly speaking, keeping in all situations, that where do you see in next upcoming 3-4 years where industry will be? That's what my first question, and same is true for all the panelists.
Thank you. First, as you mentioned, that we look at the customer base present in the country, and that the infrastructure and the opportunity which we have, I can say that this industry can grow at phenomenal pace. Currently, as Sudhirbhai mentioned, around $6 to $7 billion which our countries, which we are producing, we can definitely reach our target of $30 billion manufacturing. Sectors is, see, from my perspective, from government perspective, I can identify some sectors, but it's in the end it's going to come from the industry itself, that in what other arenas of ESDM they want to venture into, right? I cannot ask somebody sitting here that no, you go and invest in mobile manufacturing or you go and invest in LED manufacturing, because that will be like pushing things down your throat. That we cannot do. That is not our mandate to do. That things need to come from you. You just let me know that I want to invest in this one. I want to do a manufacturing of LED screen in Gujarat. I want to take the substrate, I want to do it here. My job is to support you fully. So, where industry will be in 3-4 years down the line is totally depend on the existing entrepreneur and the industry people in our state. And I believe that with their support and with the zeal which they have shown for other sectors, with this sector also we will definitely reach our target of $30 million.
I'll take next. See, there are few sectors, I think, which are in the true sense virgin, which are now opened up. One of them, most important, is the defense sector. Defense was very closely tied, and no private player were allowed to enter inside. Government has taken so much of initiative in defense right now that there is a tremendous opportunity. No war equipments are possible to run without electronics, and they have gone to the extent that even on space in Gujarat, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has inaugurated one of the most important sector is the space sector. They have just now ordered 100 crore worth of equipment, and any private player can go to I think it is called in space, where the ex-director of SEC, who is going to lead this opportunity, and even you can build the satellite. So sky is the limit as far as this is concerned. In Baroda, already Tata has announced such a large project to build the aircraft, and no one company can make full equipment. It is so complex. So everybody has a role to play. That is one area. Though I agree with him that it has to come from you, but based on whatever, at least I see, I am just trying to give my views. But ultimately it is your call, what you want to do it. Number two is inherently Gujarat has 2-3 sectors where we are very strong in already manufacturing. In healthcare, now if you see that in knee replacement, I think we are known worldwide. And every second shop is now coming to the knee replacement. They come with a package that okay, 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs you pay, replace till you walk the stairs, then you go home. It is not per day or anything. So, and a lot of things can be done. Actually, we, my own company, Infochips, we have developed more than 500 cameras, which can go in any part of the body actually, and that can be integrated with any kind of equipment. The medicine dispensers, which has a lot of things. I don't want to describe the whole thing, but If some doctor has prescribed something, you can go to that thing and press the button, you will get the medicine there. If not there, it will suggest where next is available. So many things can be done like that. And number 3 is the gaming. Gaming is the fastest growing. Like once upon a time, more than the Coca-Cola, that Vallabhbhai, water bottles were growing at a fastest rate. So this kind of things are happening. I think it is a question of, though we see, but we don't see. Opportunities are there everywhere. I think that whatever I see, which is electrical, is going to be converted to electronics. Anything which is electrical will be electronics. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So sky is the limit actually. Don't worry about the. I think I have given one slide, all areas. And there is no need to have a big concept. You have to try with small thing and then you can build it.
સિદ્ધિભાઈ આપણે મહાજનોનું મંડળ છે એટલે જે બિઝનેસ કરીએ છીએ ત્યારે there are two things, return on investment and second important is that what is the let us come to return on investment. Whatever is the ecosystem industries are there or maybe a core industry, can you give you fair idea, right? So somebody put a money, even though 30-40% government is adding to give a incentivize. So what are the this typical period, because all the giants knows that how much time it will take to get a money back, and that's how Khareji has told it, that ultimately the people who are in audience and industry, they have to do it. So that will put an impact that how quickly we can achieve 30 million targets or something.
So
can you give an idea of a timeline, right?
No, timeline, again it depends on what kind of a thinking you are and what kind of a risk appetite you have. If you don't have risk appetite, nothing will happen, let me tell you. Just nobody is going to come and tell you that you invest this much and within 5 years there will be return. I don't think there is any book, anywhere anybody has committed that actually. So forget about that, first thing. Number 2, my suggestion will be based on my own experience. You run 2 threads parallel. See, let us look back a little bit because we have time now, because we finished that break and all those things, so we can talk actually. India has been slave for 1000 years. 250 years is done by English people. So we have gone into the master slave philosophy. Somebody tells you run left, then you can turn left. Somebody says turn right, you will do exactly the same thing. And you are too good. But if somebody asks that you walk, then you will get puzzled, where should I walk? Same thing is happening in colleges. Teacher comes, excuse me sir, there will be 100 students, he delivers, they listen, they mug up. Whoever can reproduce in exam is scholar. There is no interaction, nothing. So, in family, the child is born, they decide whether Babri rakhwani ki kapawani ki. Okay? Then go to medium English, medium Gujarati, who decides parent? Who should be the friend in school decides parents. Then engineer, doctor, whether capability is there, interest is there, nobody bothers.
So there is no straightforward equations.
No, I am coming to the point actually. This is the root cause of the whole problem. And if you don't solve this, nothing will happen. No ROI will come. When the child is become engineer and he come to the industry and we ask, customer tell him when you will deliver. He say when do you want? Then I tell him when you can deliver, you have to calculate and tell us. He says okay, after 3 months. He say fine. After 90 days exactly he will tell that okay, I will need another 1 more month. Because he has never done, he has never estimated. Not only that, whom to marry, parents will decide. When to divorce, parent decides. When to have child, parents decide. He has never taken decision. Point I am making is that India, all the good thing done by TCS or Infosys, we have become slave. What the English people has done, that they take iron ore from here, take it to London in steamer, make the machine and sell in India 1000 times more. Microsoft and all other people have done the same thing in this industry. You are doing everything but IP is there. So you get $3,000, $5,000 per month and you are so happy. So you have become a mold, and the mindset for product is completely different than the mindset for services. And unfortunately, 95% of the population of engineer has a mindset of services. So we need to change that first.
So thank you. Pradeep ji, you are running industry also, right, of ESDM. So what is your perspective to ROI front and the target what we put in?
So thank you. So, 12 years ago, I was with another startup, and I was really running around to raise funds. The startup was also the chip design industry, and a lot of people asked what the company was about, and then they walked away. They invested into land, they invested in real estate, but they did not invest into some fabulous semiconductor company. That's not the environment today. So that one barrier has been removed. Now, when it comes to ROI, second part is an investor knowing, because even in the heydays in the Silicon Valley, when this dot-com bubble was going on, there were investors who were doctors, who were investors who were bankers. They did not have technology background. They didn't need to have technology background, right? But they need to have somebody who can consult and guide. So that's where comes the role of technology advisors to the VCs, right? And today I can say that in India, that system is also thriving. There are a lot of very experienced set of people in India. So what is an ROI? If you're looking for a shorter term return on investment, then getting into the intellectual property creation, even a software IP or even an app, as Sudhir covered earlier, right? That's the shortest path to success, to at least temporary. Then it goes into creating chip IPs, which are more expensive, longer incubation time. Then you go into product space. In the product space, there are two aspects. Either you go defining something that would, either you go into either you go into defining something that is ultra complex, or something that is a niche but a large volume. So if you look at automotive, right, India is a huge automotive space. You do even an aftermarket product, or even do a charging station. Right? That's a product. That's an electronics product. Right? You do ideation. I think there are companies in Surat itself that I know of that are doing very well. So I think what needs to be done is, if there is somebody here who is not engineer by trade, but is thinking that this is an interesting area, there is now a thriving ecosystem who can guide how much to invest, where to invest, what's the incubation time, what would be the ROI, specific to each product line. Right? So that's a differentiation that is today that didn't exist 10 years ago, that didn't exist 5 years ago. Right? Now people have come out of woodwork to support government initiatives, because there's a huge fund inflow given by government to reduce the risk. The remaining risk, of course, it's a risk, but there are various segments of varying degree of risk, varying degree of return on investment, and there is a huge ecosystem that can help an investor. Forget about entrepreneur. Help an investor define where they want to go into. What is important, I think, is not to work in a silo. So if you're sitting here in this city, I think you would have a great cross-pollination of what is happening in textile, what's happening in diamond, what's happening in other manufacturing. But if there is anybody here who is engineer by trade or not engineer by trade, and really looking for this kind of information, for this kind of, the real answer comes, hitting the ground. Go to Hyderabad, go to NCR, go to Bangalore, connect industry associates who are there to help you. And we can help really, pre-mortem it for you sufficiently, so you can make your own decision and leverage the government schemes.
Khareji, I think you keep on teaching at different cities, so this kind of questions might have come to you on ROI and all. Would you like to add something?
See, in ROI, I will not be the correct person to answer that thing, because I have been on this side of the table, not on that side of the table. So, but actually I have interacted with a few of the companies. I think one person is here. He is MD Prolectra, right? So they are making these power saving devices, and after looking through his numbers, they have reached a turnover of 1 crore. They have started with a very small amount, but now they have reached up till 1 crore turnover. And now they have looking to compete with the Chinese companies and looking for the African and UAE, Middle East markets, right? So because their product is very specific product, it's a quality product, they have got all the certifications, so they are able to get a better ROI on that. But if you if you keep doing this run of the mill product, because understand this thing, this sector definitely is going to have a competition. If you think that you should be doing the production without facing any competition, that is not going to happen. There are companies making the similar kind of product in NCR region. There are something in South, somewhere are in Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad region. So definitely, either you make a new product, or you get a quality new product, or you catch the customer first, the customer which are present in Gujarat, or you catch that industry first. Then I think you can have a better ROI. And definitely those companies which has created these links, they are definitely turning into profitable businesses, because as I am seeing some of these companies disbursing the incentive. So as I told you, right, from this side of the table, when I am seeing that, they are definitely making progress, because how I judge their progress is, are their power tariff bills are increasing or decreasing? If it's increasing, it means their production is getting increased, right? So when I look in that parameters, that okay, every year there is some increase of at least 20 or 50% energy consumption, it means production has increased, and that means they are getting that ROI. So for all these 90 companies, there will be like 70 MSMEs, and they are able to give this kind of progress. It means they are having a decent or a good amount of ROI. That's why they are continuing into it, whether it's in terms of PCB manufacturing or medical devices manufacturing, they are getting a good return out of it. So in my opinion, if we come up with this better zeal and better management, what I say, then definitely there will be much higher ROI compared to some other industries.
So I think Sardar is known as a very good entrepreneur, right? So he has sold to Arrow at huge price, his company. So point what I wanted to say is there is a risk, as you have rightly pointed out, and as Khareji has told, you are not only a lone company who are doing these things, and even in fab also, I think I could see a lot of competitions, and worldwide, even US is also very keen to set up many fabs at their place, even though they are leading almost 28% in a 8 to 7 nano market. They have it, though other is on an average they have a 12% only share. So naturally there will be a lot of competition on a fab also. But for fabless, I think whereby the core, whereby you had said that there is a lot of opportunity and you can make a huge money out of it and a lot of growth. So there are two aspects. One is that we know a success story of ISRO. They have launched a satellite at very less cost by managing technology, exploiting resources and all. So I want to know from all of you that is there any possibility of such miracle happens when by today we talk about 3 billion investment for one fab. Can we go Indian ways to develop some fabs at a very small cost and suddenly we are winner of the game, right? So just pondering this question.
So jumping to fab, which is very expensive affairs, and that's one of the reason that we did not venture India as a country, and it was not making sense because our consumption was also poor actually, because our buying power itself was less actually. With the time, things are changing, dynamics are changing. So there are low hanging fruits. I will propose that instead of going to the fab, there is things like OSAT, outsource assembly and test, which required anywhere between 7, 8, 9, 10 million worth of investment, and any chip which you manufacture has to be encapsulated, it has to be tested before it goes to the market. Take that and then go for reference design. So suppose he is designing a processor, now he has to go to the customer to show the power of his processor. So I can build a reference design for that, and that his technical team goes to the market and demonstrate the power. To demonstrate the power alone, that processor will not be able to do anything. So you have to build a small setup over there, small circuit over there. So we did this with TI and many other NXP and many other players, and we co-brand and sell those reference design. So you are paid for making those reference designs, that becomes your IP, and it goes all over the world actually. Not only that, once that reference design has gone to any customer, and if he wants to build the product, NXP or Intel or TI is not going to manufacture the product. So their sales engineer will say that who is the best guy to design this project? He say go to Info Chips because they have this reference design. So business comes to you by so many routes actually. You need not to look for the business. So you have to figure out such kind of thing where there is a low hanging fruits, minimum investment and maximum gain. So ROI can come in 1 year. And if you want to go make IP, real IP, and we want to prove it into silicon, it may take 10 years.
Very interesting question.
Just before you go,
Yeah.
I think it is relevant to you also.
So I just want to add something in his comment. See, fab and fabless in India, and we see that silicon sector we missed and IC sector we missed. But you see ARM, that is fabless and huge turnover. So it's not the limitation to have fab or not to have fab. Of course, our decision as a nation that we, because 3 nanometer, 7 nanometer very expensive. What his plan is we may go with 60 nanometer, 45 or 180 nanometer, and as Sudhirji told about defense sector, where we require very much reliable technology, and 7 nanometer, 3 nanometer we may not get it that much reliability. So even with the higher node, we can grab a lot of market. So it's not mandatory to go with very small nanometer level node. That is the requirement of as a nation. We can start at least with 180 nanometer. Lot of product we can design.
So one of the prime purposes to spread awareness of a government scheme which is spanned through 3 important policies, right? So Khareji, would you like to think that something you can add it, or any specific questions audience may have, right? So they can put forward to see and understand little fine detail of those part, or as he has promised, if you have some suggestions on that policy, that can also be taken up, right? So if any of the person want to, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So it is the question.
You introduce yourself first.
Myself Ashwin Savani, and I run multiple businesses in IT as well as in IoT. So my question is to Khareji. Normally in a business there is a rule, you incentivize those what you expect, right? So most of the incentives given in the policy, that is mainly meant for who wants to invest like millions and billions, right? But if India wants to build something IP, I don't see anything much more on like IP, which requires real talents to hire them and work on or do some sort of research and build some product, right? And that again requires some sort of unless and until India cannot become the IP country which we want to build. This is what we are trying to build, mass manufacturing, like country or center or a hub in Gujarat. So if you can add some or throw some light more on this kind of like IP building stuff, or those like who are solving some specific problems for a Indian MSMEs, right, based like utilizing IoT cost effective solutions and all. So how they can expect some help for their like initial hand holding period which they require, because those startups, they don't have like millions and billions of rupees, or they even don't need to mass manufacture them unless until they reach to certain stage, right? So if anything you can add on that, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Actually, it's a quite challenging question. Thing is, see, for if you look at the design part, so Government of India has already one scheme called DLI, Design Link Incentives. Thing is, sometimes what happens, they have a separate infrastructure there in central government, which is a big department of meeting, right? They can see your product, they can decide on that whether you should be available for DLI or not. So what we do generally in government setup, we divide these kind of incentives, what we say, the capability wise also, capability on our side. If I need to delve in this kind of area, that whether your product or your design should be qualified or somebody else product or design should be qualified, then I have to start a separate department within my own agency. I have to hire, so like if you are hire 4 engineers, I have to hire at least 10 engineers, right? So that capability is with Government of India. So they say ki, okay, I'm your design is approved, I am giving whatever 25%, 35% design link incentives I am giving to you. What challenge state government has taken on ourselves is the other support which is required to run that kind of company, or even see, I have not kept any condition on that kind of, if you should be billionaire, multi-billion company or million company, nothing like that. It's like less than 25 crore, it can be 1 lakh also, higher than 25 crores, right? And based on that, the government will provide all the support accordingly. So I am incentivizing, or Government of Gujarat is incentivizing the support infrastructure which is required for even a smaller firm, and Government of India is giving the incentive on that intellectual property development part. So that policy, that bifurcation has already been there. Then there is Government of Gujarat startup policy which is being run by education department, which is already there in this
Yeah, actually it take
state.
ages, right? Before startup ends, policy never ends. That's what usually happens, and startups want faster decisions. I saw many startup die.
Yes.
Just waiting, for like okay, kab apna din aayega sort of thing.
So actually those things are getting removed now, especially in, just for example, in GSEM. So whatever proposals are coming to me, we are trying to make it as much as person independent, right? So putting all the IT infrastructure like portals. So if it's like a date of 15 days, there will be an automatic clock running there. So it will be pressure on you, it will be pressure on me. I need to give approval in 15 days, right? Otherwise it will be automatic approval. Similarly, you need to submit your information within 15 days, otherwise it will be automatically rejected. So it's a pressure on you, pressure on me. So that kind of system we are trying to put in all these kind of government schemes, whether it's for startups, whether it's for big manufacturing, whether it's MSME sector. So that we are trying to put. This point has actually been raised by few more startups, that there should be faster turnaround from government side also, and we are actively looking into it, that whether it's about approvals, whether it's about qualifications, whether it's about the dispersals, they should be done
It
in a
should be
very
little bit faster.
Yes, not little bit, there should be a time frame.
Yeah.
If I tell you 15 days, it means 15 days. So that kind of system we are definitely building it up. The startup part, for some sectors they may be coming, for example space sector, because that is more driven by this thing. And other than that, there is also government policy for startups. The Government of India is also very actively supporting these startups. And for us, MSMEs or large project, they are on the same ground, same base.
So I would like to add to this. Actually, I am connected and involved with two startup incubators. One is known as iHub, and second is known as iCreate. So I go there and we assess the project which the people they are working on. And I was surprised that I think last week they had 8 proposals they brought it actually for sanctioning. And the government, other than this, from the industry commissioner side, they are giving 10 lakh rupees initially, and for making prototype again they provide money, and 30 lakh rupees they provide even for branding. I think it all depends. And one of the guy who has built a IP on cyber security, he was telling that he sees his valuation as 100 crore. So I think all is not that bad. I am not saying all is that rosy also, but I think we are making well progress. And even in Surat itself, there are 875 startups, out of which I have the list of 10 top startups actually. I couldn't do everything because there was a lot of cramp of the time. You have to do so many things in 45 minutes, which is not possible. But I think things are happening, And if you are a really genuine product or concept, I think no one can stop you. With all the things over here, if not here, somebody else will fund you. I think money is not an issue. First thing, I think let us keep that in mind. Right now, at this point of time, money is not an issue. Idea is an issue. Once upon a time, Microsoft guy, he used to tell us that if you have idea and if you don't implement today, somebody else is going to implement tomorrow. So don't wait for any help and all those things. Help will come. Investor will come. I think it all depends what you are driving, looking at it. And I have seen so many successful, from my company itself, there are 54 companies which has mushroomed out of, in Ahmedabad, out of which 3 got acquired. 2 got 100 crore and 1 got little less than that. So I think things are happening. Even in chip design, there are 8 companies which people have gone out of our company and they started. They build some IP. So,
Sure, you wanted to add something, sir?
I guess Sudhir bhai covered it,
Okay.
but just since ISA does a SAFAL program is not only limited to those who are in Karnataka. It's actually pan-India program for anybody who is creating IP. It doesn't require anything in terms of membership or whatever. EDA tools are given for free, completely. That's millions of dollars of cost, right? Multi-wafer shuttle that you need, there is a significant subsidization on that cost as well, right? And there is investment channels that they can bring with the business advisory. So I think as Sudhir bhai said, I think money is not an issue, it's an idea. It's a good idea, right idea, and willingness to go ahead. I think ecosystem is different, and that's what I would suggest, that the entrepreneurs that are here, right, there is enough in Gujarat to also look, but I think the emphasis in Gujarat also seems to be a bit more on the manufacturing side. On the intellectual property side, DLI is a good scheme, SAFAL is a good incubator. Reach out to us, we can be more than happy.
Definitely. Thank you, sir.
good question.
Any other want to have some question? Please.
I think Mukesh Vasani from Aimtron Electronics. Actually, you answered very well. Thank you, panel. My question was about, we run also Aimtron Foundation, and we work a lot of, training program, and we do ESDM. We have 3 centers, ESDM centers, one in Bangalore, one in Ahmedabad, and one in Vadodara. So the question was about EDA tools, mental graphic, and other tools. So that was the first question. I think you answered very well. So now, yesterday we had a full day meeting with BVM, and they are willing to, they have some robotic competition, and they won the good award also here a couple of days ago. So the question was is how we can get help. So is the easy process, or we are a SAFAL member, but how? I never got any response. Hey guys, can use our tools. So what is the process about tools? That's the one part of question. And the second part of question, those tools, do we have to go through only SAFALs, or is there any government incentive on those? Because we've been talking a lot of things. As I correct, last 2 hours we've been talking about all chip manufacturings and all kind of silica, and we saw the videos and everything. So for everything there is a 3 gigantic people, and those 3 tool companies, they own everybody. The rest of it is just the slave. That's the labor, just put that way. The rest of it is all technicians. All those 3 companies all are controlling whole, this market, semiconductor market. So, is government has anything?
All these softwares are covered under your capex.
All right. So that's the one.
You go take that software, claim the bill, we will pay.
Okay. So that's one question, and
Yep.
Synopsis, cadence,
Yes. So under SAFAL, Synopsis and Mentor participate, Cadence doesn't. I'm not commenting on the Gujarat policy, I'm just talking about SAFAL. Cadence is not supported.
so how it works? So you gave us a just like user access or free user access. How it works? Because we have to use this in BVM next week. So can we use something?
Free user access.
Okay.
It's a free user. So you have to. So first there is an online portal to apply, right? Then you have to have a shop and establishment registration in Karnataka. You don't have to have employees there, but just a registration.
We do have that. We do have that also.
Yeah, and that's it. And once you qualify, so the proposal will come to GC to review. Once it's approved.
And we would like to use that same for Gunavat, a Ganpati University also. So that's what we are trying to.
But that is not for commercial. See, all university license are only for education purpose.
So only we do education. We don't want to do
Then
commercial.
there is actually, you name the thing, then we will.
Okay.
Will help you to
So it's for foundation. That's what we are trying.
We are
trying.
synopsis,
Our goal is to
get it.
our goal is to do an incubation center in US and here combined together. So that's what.
So as long as it's academic and educational purpose, actually today only I did it, yesterday only I did introductions with several of the faculty members. They may be here. Synopsis has a program that they enable the academics.
See,
Mentor also does.
the main thing is, you know,
Cadence also does.
even though
Cadence
we
is
are talking
another.
about this millions of dollar business, we need a workforce, and that's what we also Intron is trying to do. You know, skill development.
Boss, don't worry on tools from academic purpose.
So moving to next
if you
question.
have any problem, come to me. I will put you to the right people. Okay.
Sure, sure. Moving to the next question is regarding we had applied for the 2016 policy now, you know, of the government policy, and we now have a new capex coming up. So how it works? Maybe let me give it to Kapil. Maybe you can explain.
Thank you, sir. This is Kapil Sharma. Sir, I have a question regarding policy, our old policy regarding 2016 to 21 regarding GFCI. Can I? Sir, in this there is a eligible GFCI is within 2 years from the date of production or till 1 year from coming to an end of this policy. Sir, I have question in this that major investment are done before the production, like machinery investment and building etc.
There was some confusion in that, in some wording. So basically, we have clarified that in our empowered committees also. So technically, if your production date is A, so whatever investment you have done to meet the production, and 2 years from the date of production, that we will cover it. Okay. In new policy also, we have kept that definition very clear.
Sir, if any officer are stuck on the point, then what will we do?
No, I am giving the clarification. No?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, I will be with you. And in new policy 2022 to 28, sir, there is a issue in interest assistance. There is a 1 minute.
Sir, it is written that maximum for 5 years, but provided that the date of interest repayment falls within the operative period.
Yes.
If my production comes in 2027 or 26, then I will get for the 2 years only.
No. So technically, basically, the interest payment that should start in your operative period, right? So the first interest payment you are doing, that should start in the operative period.
Yeah.
Then it can continue for 5 years, right? So that we will take care of that 5 years.
No, it has been made within the operative period. False.
Your first interest interest payment should start in operative period.
No, it is not first written, so it is.
Because sometimes what happens, I don't know. See, when policy, in any policy where there are incentives involved, those policy has been taken threadbare. Industry people come to us, ऐसे आते हैं, मतलब एक is, are, we, was, हर चीज़ पे ये ऐसे हो जाएगा, ये तो वैसे हो जाएगा. So see, हम भी जब ये बनाते हैं, we try to take maximum scenario कि नहीं ऐसा भी हो सकता है, किसी का लोन अगर आखिरी दिन पे लिया है, किसी ने अगर आखिरी दिन पे अप्लाई किया है. So we take all these consideration, but sometimes what happens, some आपके बिजनेस डिसीजंस हैं, दे कैन बी अप एंड डाउन. लोन अप्रूवल में थोड़ा टाइम लग जाता है, पेमेंट उसमें टाइम लग जाता है. Those things are coming. So that's why we have kept one portion of our state level empowered committee. So all these exceptional cases, there can be some genuine reason and there can be some adverse reason also. So we put in front of that our SLEC. We inform that what is the cause for this, and then that final committee will take the decision that okay, this is the genuine reason and we should consider these cases. So don't look always on the exceptional cases, because 90 to 95% cases come into well within the policy. They don't have any issues. Only these 4-5 cases here and there, they generally comes with this kind of exception, and we take care of that also.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
Hello.
Hello. Sometimes happens that there can be some major confusion. Luckily, in this policy, we don't have any in this our recent electronic policy. But if some major issue comes like that, some product should come or not come, then generally some kind of corrigendum comes, some kind of amendments comes in the policy. But generally, in this policy, we are sure that it has been made in proper way, proper stakeholder consultation, getting reviews on previous policy also, what was the drawbacks, where they, so even if you see there is a major changes, like we have removed the cap. Otherwise, giving any incentive without a cap is not possible, right? So, but we have removed it because it was came from the industry only. So we keep reviewing this policy time to time also, that everything is well within it and nobody is having this kind of confusion. Okay.
हेलो, मेरा क्वेश्चन खरे सर से ही है. एक्चुअली सर, सूरत देख लीजिए, अभी सोलर पूरा हब बन रहा है. तो लास्ट जो पॉलिसी था उसमें क्लियर मेंशन था जो सोलर पैनल मैन्युफैक्चरर है उनको भी ये इंसेंटिव का जो बेनिफिट है मिलेगा. यहाँ पर वो चीज़ पूरी स्पेसिफिक है नहीं सर, तो वो कंफ्यूजन है. तो क्या जो सोलर पैनल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वाले हैं उनको भी ये इंसेंटिव का बेनिफिट मिलेगा, क्योंकि वो क्लियर लिखा नहीं है सर उसमें.
See, generally we take this continuation from previous policy to the new policy. So generally whatever areas are covered in previous policy, they are always covered in the new policy also, until unless there is major bifurcation. Okay? So till now those are covered. Like I have received, I don't know whether you called my office or not or somebody else, they called with the same question. I said like our portal is live, you apply in that. Okay. Right? If decision is being taken that no, it should be covered under some other policy, because Atmanirbhar policy is also having solar manufacturing as part of it. So if that decision is being taken, then that will also be informed. But till now, आपका भी clear है कि पिछली policy में मिला था. So please apply in this one also.
Okay sir.
Okay.
Yeah. My name is Kaushik. And my question is that related to policy only. The policy come into October, but we have already planned the one solar module manufacturing. So actually investment already started before that in last year, but now the production will come into next month. So it is previous investment before policy. It can be covered in new policy or not?
You should have applied in that 1621 policy because see, when you are planning what policy is in that in the time, you apply into that.
Yeah.
Right. If you are waiting 1 year, the next policy will come and I will apply.
That is not that like that. We have already applied, but the meantime the production is not come. And the policy is
so generally in that cases we give that extension also, right? Okay. We have that extension of in principle approval.
But the production is come into the new policy. That is also not.
So even in our previous policy, we have given this clarifications that if I am giving you the in principle approval, if on last day of the policy, if I am giving you in principle approval for 1 year, and in that within 1 year you are bringing the production, it will be covered into that that policy only. Right, because this policy period has started on 28th October. So I cannot cover something which is before that, because before that there was already an existing policy going on. Right, previous 1621 policy or 1622 policy was there. So we have made we have ensured that 28th October onward we will cover. Before that it will not be possible.
Earlier I have my one of the friend in textile policy. The earlier textile policy said that if the come into production after policy, the previous investment can be considered.
So see, things why we took this decision, because we discussed with lot of people, those who were planning to invest, those who have already invested. So we told them, see, if you have already invested, please apply in this 1621 or 1622. Because you don't know whether we will come in October. The previous policy ended in March, right? We came in October because it takes some time, and it may be possible that it may take further delay to launch new policy. So you don't jeopardize your investment just based on that speculation that अगली पॉलिसी क्या आएगी, उस पॉलिसी में
We are-
15 का 20 होगा या
Sir,
20
we
का
have
25
already
होगा.
taken the in principle without any consideration of new policy.
Yes. So,
That's
so you will definitely be covered into that. Even if your production is being a little bit in new policy, you will definitely be covered in the previous one. You have applied, you submit your annexure 3 and we will process that application.
And the second question is why we are planning for further expansion. But there
That
is
will
no-
cover in new policy.
No, sir, that's a different question. I know that the question is only that now one condition is put up that the solar module, the 75% capacity utilization in any 1 year. So, but generally this industry cannot be performed the 55 to 60% always. That is the capacity utilization always, because it's depend on the product, because how megawatt is producing, and in the monsoon period the production is almost stopped, because at that time there is no market and there is no condition is there. So in this case any relaxation can be given by government.
That thing you can write to us that these are the particular reasons. See, because these are very niche sector specific reasons, right? Because similar kind of condition you cannot put on other industry, because they should manage, they should qualify on that parameters, that last preceding 3 years they should have this much production only, then only they can go for expansion. So specifically you can write for these particular reasons for solar module, and then we can put it in front of our SLEC that for this particular reason whether it should be considered or not. Right.
Thank you for clarification, sir. Thank you.
So I think we have not much of time, but I think if policy related questions are there, then we can take up at the downstairs. But if you have any other specific questions, we can take up.
Good evening, sir. My name is Ramakrishna. Sir, my question is like we have discussed a lot about the policies and how government can help all these things, but all these things comes after the start point. But I want to ask that I want to draw your kind attention towards the freshers level, beginners level. That is, who are before the start point. How can we start? From where can be the start point? How can we get that initial inertia to start? Because the freshers are the best ones to take risks, because we have nothing to lose.
You have like a shuffle which they are discussing. So that kind of model can further be developed there. So that shuffle model has been developed for fabless companies, right? For design companies. I think I will again request associations like SGCCI for industry, similarly for IESA for ESDM industry, to have the similar kind of organization, similar kind of a startup ecosystem for manufacturing companies also. Those who want to do their own testing, qualification for these particular product, similar kind of model can be applied there. Because in design it's become pretty easy. For manufacturing you require some more infrastructure, hardcore infrastructure, like some testing, prototyping, and some other kind of common facilities for chemicals or anything. So that step can be taken. We can try to help in that, because in our policy also we have mentioned that if some kind of common facility center is required in any hub, then government is ready to put incentive in that also. So for example, in Dholera, government is trying to build a EMC, electronic manufacturing cluster. So that cluster will be specifically for electronics companies, and in that there is a provision for some kind of common facilities center. So there will be a facility which will have a common equipment for testing, common equipment to do some kind of prototyping. So similar kind of concept can also be developed by our industries association, because they will have much more know-how. They can go in further deep down these technologies, and they can provide help for entrepreneurs like you who can want to come into this manufacturing sector.
Basically, if I am having an idea, I can approach the Dholera, whatever disposition is there, all these things.
See, I have a very simple solution for you guys. Even not, if you are not even a fresher engineer, you are studying in second standard semester, third, fourth, fifth semester. If you are even a concept, and if you make a one-page write-up on that, actually, you visit iHub portal. They will provide 30,000 rupees if it is a worth. Once they assess, and then they will take it forward, and they will provide you, as I said, good incentive, all the infrastructure and money to develop the things. So try to put down on, don't keep guessing. Look for the things, go to iHub portal. My email ID and number is here. If you have any difficulty, I will speak to the CEO of iHub and he will take care. People are looking for the ideas, man.
So my question to Vidya Khareji, myself Viman Surakolia. So is there any guideline for electronic COE? You have seen in your slide it is present that eCOE center you can start to for capacity building. So is there any proper guideline is there for eCOE?
Center of Excellence.
Yes, for electronics purpose.
Yes. So Center of Excellence we have mentioned in our policy, and in short time only we will be coming with a detailed scheme of it, which will be going further down, that where or in what sector we want to have this kind of COE. Apart from that, various universities and colleges like IIT Gandhinagar, PDPU, and also I have discussed with the NIT also, they have come up with their own proposals for whether they want to set up in semiconductor sector or in electronic sectors. For example, some proposals we have received that we want to set up a class 100 clean room. So class 100 clean room is the highest level of clean room which is currently going in the industry. We want to set up here in their university, not as a very big one, but which will give you that industry requirement, that how it's going to be. So definitely we will be coming up with the guidelines, exact guidelines. That scheme is already in preparation. I have submitted the draft proposal also to government, and once we get it approved, so it will come into this thing. But definitely we are going to have the Center of Excellence. Luckily, Government of India, in if you guys have seen it, in our Finance Minister also announced that there is going to be almost 150 AI labs across the country. So for that also we have asked that in Gujarat we want these Government of India AI labs also, maybe 3-4 spreading across different regions, some in Ahmedabad, some in Surat, in collaboration with our established premier institutes, right? So this kind of work is already, we have already talked to MITI that we should need at least 4 to 5 these AI labs, which will be focusing on different ESDM sectors. So we have a proper plan for this Center of Excellence. The official guidelines or official scheme we will be coming out shortly.
So I have a suggestion for Taylor sir, for Southern Gujarat Chamber of Commerce, what you can do it, you have an IT committee and all this thing. So you nominate one person who collects all these kind of hurdles, and then you become a center point of communicating with his office. Most of the problem will be solved. Instead of just moving it random, have one person designated.
After today's session, I am expecting that in next 2-3 weeks or in a month, I will be receiving lot of such things from South Gujarat, because I have been 6-7 months in this organization, and our policy came in October, and most of the time either they are coming nearby Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, or at max they were coming from Vadodara, because there are already some established companies. But now I am expecting I will be getting a lot of such more queries from Surat area also, and that will be then only I will understand, then only I will take that okay, our visit has been successful and we had a good session here. Okay.
મારો એક સવાલ છે જે બધાએ પૂછ્યો નથી તો હું પૂછી લઉં એમ. સો બેઝિકલી અહીંયા બિઝનેસમેન છે ઘણા બધા, અને જેમ કીધું સરે કે તમે પ્રોબ્લેમ લઈને આવો, ગવર્મેન્ટ તો હેલ્પ કરશે, પણ કયા પ્રોબ્લેમ પર ફોકસ કરવો? સો બીન એન ઇઝા કે બીજા કોઈ પણ એસોસિએશન હોય, so they have any reports, where to invest, which parts to be manufactured, and something. See, it's not about ROI, but this is in demand. The second report is there, so people can know more about it. It's moving to this part.
I think this is a very good point, and I will definitely request from industry associations also that we should jointly work on this part also, because without data, without having that clear idea, it always lead to some kind of misunderstanding. We thought that this sector is doing well, but how many companies are there? So I am also trying to get all this data from our industries department, that over the time how many companies are registered with you, what is their turnover. At the same time, we need this help from associations, those companies in the ESDM sector which are part of your association, what are their turnover, what are their employment requirement. If you if all of you go through the DST website, in that incentive management portal, we have done a registration portal. In that, we have made clear to all the companies that to get the incentive in this policy, you have to do the registration first. In that registration form, we ask this question only: when was your company started? What is your product? What is your turnover for last 3 years? And what are the number of employees you have, and what are the skill sets they are doing, so that we can have this data with us that okay, this particular industry is employing 100 people. Or in ESDM also, a PCB manufacturer with the investment of 1 crore gives jobs to 20 people or 50 people. In solar manufacturing, investment of 1 crore give a job to 10 or like 20 people. So we should also have this kind of sector specific data, these points, right, on which we can ride upon, on which we can further focus deep down. It's not like I'm discriminating anyone, but we should have this kind of idea that if I invest 100 crore in PCB manufacturing, I will be able to generate these many jobs. This will be the turnover, kind of turnover. There is a concept of multiplier effect is there in the industry, that if you put 1 rupee in this sector, you will get a return of 3 rupees. For some of these product, that can be 10 times also. For some of the products, it can be 2 to 3 times also. So that kind of research work, we suppose that our industry would have that data. It didn't. So we are also trying to get it done by ourselves. So our team is regularly working on that, interacting with the industry, and frankly, this is a very important data for the investors and for the entrepreneurs to look at it. So I will request ISA, request Chamber of Commerce also, that please either you come up with the report or please provide us the data, require coordination so that we can come up with a very well balanced report about this industry.
Not true. In avionics and in defense especially, you can never go to the tier 1. They are going to the tier, we are tier 3, tier 4. So we have to work not with the Boeing, we have to work with the tier 1 supplier or tier 2 supplier. If you break your head in going to Toulouse 10 times, you will not get a single rupee business. So you must know where to hammer. And I think that is what he is saying, that we should help in where that hammer should be put actually. I think it's good.
I think we have done with the questions. Thank you very much all. I think we have targeted 8, but we shoot up to 8:30.
No, we started late, but instead of 4, we started at 4:30.
So we are in a gain of a half an hour, I think. So we started at 5 and then targeted at 8:30. But thank you very much for, and I think we could see at the last lot of enthusiasm and lot of query, and that shows the success of the program. And we are today very lucky to get a people amongst us as a panelist. Dr. Anandarji, thank you very much for citing all the insights and wisdom on this. Khareji, I must congratulate, and we are lucky that we have a person like him as one of the representative of this mission. And many of you may not know, he is a IIT Kharagpur graduate, he is IPS, he is IAS, and then with us. And not only that, he has worked for more than 3-4 years in a core VLSI industry, and then he is with us.
I will just add one more thing about him. What happened that I was talking to him for 2 months to organize these things. Okay, I had a special interest, South Gujarat, because I am born and brought up here, I studied here. Then he says that I have this date, I have problem, this date, I have engagement. I said, you do one thing, you don't come. You send somebody from your office. He says, no, if you do this program, I want to be there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vijayji. And have a big round of applause for all the panelists. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
બધા પહેલા તો ઊભા થયા છે તો બાકી બધા ઊભા થઈને એક વખત સ્ટેન્ડિંગ ઓવેશન થઈ જાય પાછળ થેન્ક યુ સર. મિત્રો પાંચે પાંચ સ્પીકર્સનું થેન્ક્સ થઈ ગયું. બેસો પ્લીઝ. એક લાસ્ટ મિનિટ તમારા અને જમવા વચ્ચે ખાલી 1 મિનિટ છે, પણ હવે વરસાદ બહુ સરસ આજે આવ્યો, બહુ સરસ ઠંડક છે બહાર. આપણે ગરમ ગરમ જમવાનું આપણે વ્યવસ્થા કરી છે, બધા જમીને જજો. બિફોર દેટ સ્પીકર્સને તો આપણે થેન્ક યુ કીધું, સાથે સાથે આપણી સાથે આઈટી અને કોમ્યુનિકેશનની કમિટી છે ચેમ્બરમાં. ટોટલ 100 કમિટીઝ છે. વન ઓફ ધ કમિટી ઇઝ આઈટી એન્ડ કોમ્યુનિકેશન. વન્ડરફુલ જોબ ડન બાય આઈટી એન્ડ કોમ્યુનિકેશન કમિટી. પુનિતભાઈ, then our Bashirભાઈ Mansoor is also there, Haresh Kalkattawala, Ganpet Damalia, then Mehul Javeri, Milap Kankotia, and of course Punit Gazera. So I would like to thanks to all committee member. સાહેબે જે વાત કરી, સુધીરભાઈનો 2 મહિના પહેલા ફોન આવેલો હતો, અને એકચ્યુઅલી હું તમને એક વાત કહું કે ચેમ્બર ઓફ કોમર્સ, કેટલા લોકો કે ચેમ્બર ઓફ કોમર્સના મેમ્બર્સ છે, જરા હાથ ઉપર કરશો. વેરી ગુડ. ચેમ્બર ઓફ કોમર્સ જે લોકો જાણે છે, જે નથી જાણતા એના માટે આ વાત છે કે 1940માં સ્થાપના થઈ, 1940, બિફોર ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્સ, રાઈટ. એન્ડ ચેમ્બર ઓફ કોમર્સ ઇઝ ડુઈંગ વન્ડરફુલ વર્ક ફોર ધ ગ્રોથ ઓફ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ. Almost, every alternate day we are doing seminars, conclaves, exhibitions, and we do open forum and all. આ presidential year ની વાત કરું, this presidential year, so in last 280 days we have done 151 programs. This is our 152nd program. So every alternate day we are doing program. Even in fact कभी कभार ऐसा भी हो जाता है कि एक दिन में 2 प्रोग्राम भी होते हैं, राइट. तो इन्होंने सही बात बोला कि पहले चैम्बर का डेट लेना, उनका डेट लेना बहुत मुसीबत थी. इनफैक्ट लास्ट टाइम तो मैंने उनको बोला कि थोड़ा एक्शन करते, उन्होंने बोला नहीं कर लेना है. बट सर मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये पब्लिक 2 घंटे, हमारा नॉर्मली सेमिनार 2 घंटे का होता है और कॉन्क्लेव फुल डे होता है, तो एवरी 2 आवर्स वी जस्ट गिव द ब्रेक. तो आज ऑलमोस्ट लगभग सारे लोग 6 बजे आ गए थे, इनफैक्ट 4 बजे आ गए थे. इनफैक्ट बारिश थी तो कुछ लोग कम आए, तो इसलिए हमने थोड़ा एक्सटेंड करके 4:30 को स्टार्ट करके 8:30 को हमने कंप्लीट किया. एक्जैक्टली 4 आवर्स जो हमारा एजेंडा था, हम एजेंडा के हिसाब से ही चल रहे हैं. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि इतना इफेक्टिव प्रोग्राम था कि 4 घंटे तक लोग बैठे हैं. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि अभी हम एक प्रोग्राम बड़ा कॉन्क्लेव करते हैं. हमारा सरसाना में बहुत बड़ा डोम है, बहुत बड़ा एग्जीबिशन सेंटर्स है और अपना प्लेटिनम हॉल है, जहां पे हमें एक पूरे दिन का हम प्रोग्राम रखना चाहते हैं सर, राइट. सो लेट्स वी गो. आईटी एंड कम्युनिकेशन की बात की, हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, आप सबके लिए एक बार ताली हो जाए, क्योंकि आप सब इतने टाइम बैठे और इतना आपने अच्छा पार्टिसिपेशन किया. And I would also like to thank our SGCA staff member also, because our time is closed at 7 PM, but 8:30 है, तो आज हमारे साथ पूरे स्टाफ जुड़े हुए हैं. सुधीर जी 2 महीने से जो अपनी बात चल रही थी तब से स्टाफ भी लगा हुआ है कि इसमें ज़्यादा लोग आए. इनफैक्ट आज बारिश की वजह से थोड़े कम आए, बाकी हमारा सर हॉल पूरा भर जाता. एनीवे, सो थैंक्स टू ऑल स्टाफ मेंबर्स एंड थैंक्स टू प्रेस मीडिया ऑल्सो, बिकॉज प्रेस मीडिया हमारे साथ है, जो हमारे प्री प्रोग्राम और पोस्ट प्रोग्राम की सारी प्रेस कवरेज देते हैं. मैं आपको सारे प्रेस कवरेज आपको कल भी भेजूंगा. तो ये सारे जो प्रेस मीडिया की कवरेज की वजह से इतने लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े होते हैं. और इनफैक्ट चैम्बर के मेंबर के अलावा और बाकी जो भी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है या जो भी यहाँ के जो महाजन है, सबको हम बुलाते हैं ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ग्रोथ हो सबका. तो एनीवे, थैंक्स टू ऑल दिस पीपल. एंड आपने जो सर ने बताया, तो आप एक काम कर सकते हैं, आप सेक्रेटरी आप लिख लीजिए honorary.secretary@sgcci.in पे आपकी जो भी क्वेरी है वो आप विदिन 7 days इज ओके, 7 दिन में आप भिजवा दीजिए. विदिन 7 days आप लिखना हो तो लिख लीजिए hon.secretary@sgcci.in. आज राइट, आज ट्यूसडे है, नेक्स्ट ट्यूसडे तक आप भिजवा दीजिए. पुनीत जी, आपकी टीम नेक्स्ट वेडनेसडे आ जाइए ऑफिस पे, स्क्रूटिनाइज कर देते हैं और आपको सारे क्वेश्चंस भिजवा देते हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से एक अच्छा रहेगा. जो भी जिसी का भी जो क्वेश्चंस बाकी हो हम कवर लिख कर लेंगे, ठीक है. बाकी बहुत अच्छा रहा. थैंक यू टू ऑल. थैंक्स.